Hey, everybody, look who the cat drug in. I know it's a Tuesday, it's a surprise, but we had to get in here, strike while the iron's hot, bro. We had Ibai Canales, bro. He's just getting back from his trip in America. He went through the East Coast. We're going to talk about it. We're also going to talk about what the hell's going on in Spain, bro. Oh, yeah, that's where he's from, the North Country of Spain, Basque Country. But there's something else that happened, Ibai. You got in Twitter jail. First of all, welcome, Ibai. We're glad to have you here, bro.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here. My props, my international quadrilla.
Yeah, that's right. Your international quadrilla, your friend group from another set of mothers, as I like to say. But we're glad to have you. What happened, bro? You got spanked. You got in trouble. What the hell did you get in trouble for on Twitter?
So there was this, like, there was a shooting recently, and some dude, I'm gonna say some lefty, was trying to sell that the shooter was actually a MAGA guy
Oh,
because of, like, I don't know what, like some
okay,
some bullshit.
yeah,
And I told him, bro, like, if you really wanna go after the MAGA guys, like, go after them yourself instead of like trying to pit the public opinion against them,
yeah.
You absolute fucking pussy. And somebody reported that, and that counted as an actual incitement to violence.
Oh,
Even though it clearly isn't. And I appealed, and they took him a couple of hours, and they came back at me. They came back to me, and they told me, now that's definitely a violation of our terms and services, and you're gonna get a 12-hour timeout or 10-hour timeout,
yeah,
something like
yeah.
that.
Twitter
So
jail.
I waited
Yeah.
out my timeout, and I shared the screenshot of what happened. Like, hey, this fucking morons, they locked me out for 10 hours because of this, and they locked me again for sharing the picture for a week.
Holy shit, bro. Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. So you're on an alt account right now, aren't you, Ibai? What
I'm on an alt account.
you want people to follow you on that account? Let me go ahead and try to drop that in the
Sure.
chat. We drop the Ibai Canales alt account. It's let me see here. Let me see if I can't pull that up real quick. Here we go. I got it right here. Let me go ahead and drop it in the chat. So everybody, if if Ibai gets in Twitter jail too long and he can't come back, we got this right here. We got his alt account right here. I'm going to drop it right here in the chat. Shout out to you guys. I'm going to jump into the chat and say what's up to everybody in the chat. But Ibai, there you go. You welcome back to Spain. You got Spanish invaders, and here you're getting in trouble for talking about a shooting in America, bro. What the hell? That's crazy. First of all, how you doing? I hope you're safe. How was it coming through customs? I know Spain's been in the news recently. All those Moroccan people running up, to rock and roll in Spain. How was the customs trip, bro? How was it getting into your country? Easy, hard? How was it?
It was as easy as always. You just have to, like, get out of the plane and walk to the police booth and
Yeah,
just wait it out with your passport in hand.
yeah.
Like, nothing special. It was actually, well, now it was quicker for the Americans because there were, like, we came from Newark, so there were less Americans than Basques, so Americans went through quicker.
Oh,
The
okay.
Basques, like, it was like a longer line.
Yeah, they held you guys
That's how it
back
was.
longer. Of course, maybe you should have been like put on a Moroccan, soccer jersey or football
Yes, I
jersey.
was I
Maybe that
was
would have been
thinking of that.
faster.
I was thinking of that. I was thinking of, like, putting a fake beard and putting, like, a turban or something and start crying Allahu Akbar, and they would, like, probably fast track me,
Yeah, yeah,
and probably
100.
giving me a free apartment or something.
Oh, bro, a couple of women. You probably already have a couple of women pregnant by the time you get off the plane. All
It's
that good
it's
stuff.
illegal. It's illegal to not fuck an Arab guy in Spain. That's just the law, guys.
Yeah,
That's how it
yeah,
goes.
yeah. Let me jump in chat and say what's up to everybody. We got Seashell SoCal. Great to see you. James Domenico grabbing the one and the only South London James. Fantastic to see you, James. Go give James a follow. Great guy right there. Co-host of the show most of the time. Shout out to Professor Grass. Good to see you, Grass. Hope you're having a good one. Hillbilly Harry. He's got those mod powers. Watch out, he'll wreck you. Let's go. So we got a lot of people in the chat having a good time. Anyway, so Ibai, recently you came to America. Now, how did you? Was it a spontaneous trip? Or were you like, okay, let's just go to the East Coast? What happened?
No, we go to the US every year. My parents and I, then my mom and I, because my dad kind of got sick of it, and he's recovering from heart surgery. It's a long, sad story. Spanish healthcare is involved, so
Oh
it's
yeah,
pretty
how's your
fucking
dad
tragic.
doing? By the way, how's he? Is he doing all
He's
right?
he's doing better. He's doing better.
Okay.
He's going through a rough couple of months, but he's recovering. He's already doing some light cardio, so we're
Yeah.
pretty positive about it.
Okay, good. Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah.
thanks for
No,
asking,
we
man.
were worried
I'll let
about him
you know.
because a heart surgery, and then you're over there in Spain, and now I'm all worried that you're gonna have some Moroccan heart surgeon. All the engineers that you're getting, all the
She's
doctors from
her
Morocco.
her her heart surgeon was actually, I think, Iranian. She was
Okay,
an Iranian chick.
it was
Yeah,
a woman.
it was a woman. Yeah,
Would your
quite
dad?
quite beautiful woman actually.
Would your
Quite
dad?
quite beautiful woman because she was like dark skin, like
Yeah.
with green eyes,
Oh,
like
all
strikingly
right.
beautiful.
Well, I mean, hey, little Ibai gonna talk to her a little bit. Maybe she was single. I don't know. But
Actually, she was the girl who operated on my dad the first time, like about 25 years ago, and she was much younger. And my dad actually told me, "Hey, she likes you. He's seen you around, and
oh,
it's
you
like,
gotta talk to
he
her,
told,
Ibai. You gotta talk to
she's
her,
married.
bro.
It's been 25 years, and
Oh,
she's
okay.
married now, and
Oh,
she's got kids. So I always wait too long. That's always been my policy.
okay. We got Art Haida in the chat. Shout out to Art, bro. He says, "Hey, boys, how you
Yeah,
doing?" Yeah. No, but good. I'm glad your dad's doing okay. We were worried about him for a minute. I don't know how the surgical situation is over there. You got some crazy people. I don't know with the medical system. It's good to hear he's doing better. I know it's tough recovering from any kind of surgery. It takes a long time. It really does. Heart surgery, especially, bro. So,
yeah.
and also, when I got my dick enlarged, that took, a couple of months to get to make that. No, I'm just playing. I didn't do that.
That's especially
Yeah.
painful. Like you gotta learn to do like push-ups with it to
Yeah.
like strengthen it.
Yeah. You got to eat a lot of ice cream when you do that. A lot of ice cream. But, so you guys decided your annual trip to America. Where'd you guys go in America?
We usually start with New York City
Okay.
because recently they actually came up with a direct connection,
Yeah.
Bilbao, Newark.
Yeah.
So you go from Bilbao to New York City like 7 to 8 hours, depending on the
Okay.
day and the weather and all that. So it's like it's reasonably cheap and it's reasonably fast. So we go to New York City always, and then we choose like another maybe 1 or 2 cities to visit. And last year we went to Wisconsin, to Milwaukee specifically, because my mom and I are huge Harley Davidson fans. So we went to like the Harley Davidson Factory Museum, like took some pictures, and pretty cool.
Yeah.
And this year we wanted to like we've been to the south before, but we saw Charleston in a TV show, South of Hell, and we saw the streets and the buildings and whatnot, and we thought, wow, that place, like, it looks really beautiful, the whole southern charm with the Spanish moss and the old like colonial
Yeah.
era balconies and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And so yeah, we decided to visit Charleston and Savannah because they're like relatively close, so you
Yeah.
can like maybe visit them in like a week.
Yeah. Now, how was when you got to New York City? I know you've been there many times before. Did you sense a change in it? Did it seem the same? Did it seem different? What was your thoughts
Yes,
on that?
yes. If you go to New York City every year, you will see it decay.
Oh, okay.
And when we first started going, I think it was like Giuliani's last years, something
Yeah.
like that, because it was like the early 2007, something like that.
Yeah.
And to quote Richard C. Meyer, it was basically Disneyland. It was like a family-friendly theme park.
Yeah.
And you had like this huge Virgin mega store with like cheap comic books in it. I bought Watchmen for
Yeah.
$5
Wow.
and a shit on like cheap DVDs, Japanese, extreme Japanese movies and what, like weird, obscure cinema that you couldn't buy here.
Yeah.
So it was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then the usual suspects got into power, and suddenly the stores began to close. You had like maybe 2, 3 comic book stores in a street, and suddenly there was just one.
Okay.
And the comic books weren't as cheap. There's
Yeah.
like this comic book store called Book Off in 45th Street.
Yeah.
And I always go there because they used to have like really cheap books. Like you could buy, I don't know, the first Death Blow. You guys remember Death Blow
Yeah. I
from the
remember
90s?
Death Blow. Yeah.
I bought the entire like trade of Death Blow, the 12 issues for like $5.
Wow.
Like super, super
Yeah.
cheap.
Super cheap.
And I went this year, and like that sort of stuff is as expensive as like new releases. It's like
Yeah.
$20 now,
Yeah.
20, $30.
Damn. Yeah. I heard.
It's not economic anymore.
Yeah, I heard that New York City, like the food is like very expensive. Like
Yes.
stuff that used to be able to go to a diner, get yourself a nice $7 breakfast or whatever. Now it's like $25, $30.
Yeah,
Very
my mom and I
expensive.
had breakfast for like $100. Like you
$100?
got like $100. It's
So,
like, yeah, to coffee, a black coffee, 2 orange juices, pancakes, and fruit salad,
I mean,
$100.
how many mimosas did you drink though? I mean, sure you had to have like a whole
Not as
bottle of
many as I
champagne.
should. Not as
Bro,
many as
that
I
is
should have, because let me tell
crazy.
you, man.
That is crazy. And what did you think about like when you were going around? Did you notice that the population was different? You know,
There were like more homeless people, and the streets were dirtier.
or more
There's like
dirty?
more trash on the
Yeah,
streets. It smells bad.
smells
It
bad.
smells of like nothing against weed smokers. You do you. I don't personally much like weed,
Yeah,
and there's like smoke of fucking weed everywhere. It stinks of weed. Even more here, like everybody smokes weeds here.
yeah,
It's even more prevalent in New York City. It's like
yeah,
it's still a cool place to visit,
yeah,
but you can see it decay. You
yeah,
know, there's, as I said, there's not many. It's funny because I think I already mentioned it, but it's supposed to be like this little man friendly socialist paradise, and
yeah,
ironically, there are not many small businesses left.
yeah,
There
yeah,
are not many, like, small coffee shops, or like Starbucks and Mamas and Nathan's and whatnot. It's
yeah.
like there are no small bookstores. It's all Barnes and Noble and Forbidden Planet.
What about the street vendors? Were there a lot of street vendors? Did you see like a lot of people selling like food on the street or different things on the street or anything
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
those yeah, and yeah, man. What did I buy? I buy like a waffle at Bryant Park, a waffle and two Diet Cokes, and it was like $20,
Yeah,
something like
shit.
that.
Wow, okay. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Joe Schmo in the chat, shout out to you, bro. He says New York City is 38% foreign born now. That means born in another country, not just outside of New York City. That is crazy, bro. I haven't been to New York City in maybe like 15 years or something like that. Last time I went there, what I noticed was there was a lot of like African people, like from South
Yes.
Africa. Like a lot of the cab drivers are,
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I think it was a guy from Sierra Leone drove us from the airport to the hotel.
yeah.
Let's go figure.
Yeah, and now did you see a Muslim influence? Because you know that Mandomni is now the new big mayor there.
Yeah.
It's like a big
Not
deal.
not that many,
Not too
actually.
much.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that many Muslims that I can think of. I think I saw a couple of like women wearing hijabs, but nah, not really. It's more of a generalized sense of unaffordability. If
Oh,
you want to live in New York City, you first of all you gotta have like some sturdy body armor, because I got into trouble with some colored gentleman that was sleeping on the metal
some
floor.
collared gentleman
Some colored gentleman, like he
sleeping
was
on the floor.
sleep
Some
he was
homeless
sleeping on
bum.
the fucking floor. I don't
Yeah,
know. He was like using his own
yeah,
backpack as a pillow.
yeah.
And of course,
What
my mom
happened?
sat on a fucking bench. My mom sit on a bench to wait for the subway, like right next to him. So of course I had to like sit behind my mom and the guy.
Yeah,
And of course I was like, yeah, this is shit's gonna go down,
yeah.
because she always goes like, because
What?
shit always goes down when I'm around.
Yeah,
And I like grazed his foot with my foot like ever so slightly, and he
yeah.
was like, I don't know what he said. Like, he spoke in, I think it's called Ebonics.
Hmm.
It's like, yo, motherfucker, you wanna touch me, pay, motherfucker, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
motherfucker. Like, just
yeah,
don't make eye contact, just smile,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
And luckily he went back to sleep pretty quickly. But I was
yeah.
like, yeah, of course. I'm
Yeah.
not in trouble with some
What,
color gentleman.
what was your mom thinking sitting right next to him, bro? Does she just want to see it, or does she have no
What is
situational
my mom
awareness? Yeah,
thinking?
yeah,
That's something that I wonder often.
yeah, yeah. Like,
We'll
mom,
talk
you're gonna
about
get
that,
me into a fight. What the hell are you doing?
Jesus
Um,
Christ.
James in the chat says he hopes the waitress was super fit for $100, bro. Yeah, she better have been a hottie. To
The
get
thing, the thing about New York City is that you usually have to collect your own food.
yes,
Like you go to the like the counter, and first you have to decipher how the thing works, because
yes,
for a European, you sit at a bar or a
yeah,
brasserie, if you
yeah,
want, like if you will, you sit in a bar, sit on a table, and somebody comes along and tells you, what do you want to eat?
yeah,
Not in New York City. New York City, you gotta walk to the counter and decipher how it works. So,
yeah,
okay, you order here. This like set of pictures here, that's the menu.
yeah.
So I gotta ask this guy, and this other guy's gonna give me the food, and I'm gonna give him the money.
Yeah,
You
then you got
gotta
to pick up over there, and then drinks are over there, and then like if it's a hot drink, it's
yeah,
not there,
you
it's
gotta
over
pick like the
there.
sugar
Oh
for the
yeah, bro.
coffee and the
Yeah,
spoon. Like, yeah, you gotta do half of the work yourself.
yeah, yeah,
Might
yeah,
as well cook the damn thing myself.
yeah. New York City's a pain in the ass. Did you go to any like cool tourist spots, or where did you guys go in New York City?
I actually hung out with a friend, and he took me into the headquarters of a famous corporation that
Oh,
I'm probably not allowed to
okay.
mention,
Don't
just
mention
in
it. Yeah,
case.
don't. I don't want to get you in
But it was
trouble.
it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Okay.
It was located in downtown Manhattan with like
Nice.
a beautiful, beautiful rooftop
Yeah.
from which you could see New Jersey. It was really nice. They gave me like a visitor card that actually read Benito Candles. I don't know
Oh,
why. They thought
Benito
that
Candles.
like
They didn't know your name, huh?
I mean, they told me to write my name so
Yeah.
they could put it in the system.
Yeah.
So I wrote them my name and last names, and they gave me back a visitor card that said Benito Candles. So
That's
I
pretty
went
funny.
around like, like sounding like some kind of like, I guess, Italian dictator with like religious influences.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
oddly fitting.
No, fantastic. And so you went, yeah, at least you got to go to nice parts of Manhattan, a nice place. And if you're really wealthy, New York City is awesome, but you have to be really
Yes, if you
wealthy.
have like you have the money. I remember I had a friend. I still have a friend, but he doesn't live anymore.
Yeah.
He live there anymore. But he told me, "Hey, I finally have money to hire you. I got paid $1 million,
Nice.
which means if you get paid $1 million in New York City, you have money to spare.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not rich. You just
Yeah.
have money to
Yeah.
spend.
You're just
You
good.
live
You're
for
okay. Yeah.
projects.
You're not suffering. Right. You can afford that extra slice of pizza. You know what I'm saying? For $100. Okay. So
It's crazy.
so
I love the city, but it's crazy.
no, I love New York City. How was the traffic? Like I heard they started implementing like tolls and stuff like that to drive your car even into Manhattan, and they were trying to limit the amount of taxis and stuff in Manhattan. How was that? Did you notice that?
Well, we moved around mostly by subway,
Okay.
so that didn't affect us much. But I remember that the bike trails are kind of a pain
Yeah.
because they're not like all that well uh how you say, like advertised, signalized or whatever, so you can like easily walk into one without noticing and like get rammed by a bike or a
Yeah.
scooter or something.
Yeah.
So I remember thinking that those were pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Traffic is, I guess, okay. I remember
Okay.
a few days ago, before COVID, we saw an old man get into a car crash and like near Central Park.
Oh
We had to
shit.
like help him out of the car.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. How was the experience on the subway? Did you see the subway as being very packed, or were people like just jumping the lines and not paying? Because we
yes,
see that a lot.
they actually I remember some black guy who was like some again, a colored
Oh wait, a
gentleman.
black guy. Wait, no,
He was like,
never, never. Okay.
no, no, we say colored gentleman here.
Yeah,
We're
of
like
course, of
we're
course.
Southern gentlemen now.
Right. Yes.
Southern
That's
gentlemen.
right. That's right. You're Southern now. I love it.
So there was like this colored gentleman at the subway, and he was like this unappointed advice giver for tourists,
Okay.
and he was like advising me to like first teach him how to use the card system, the Metro card system, and he was like, "Nah, fuck it," and like he opened the emergency door
Yeah.
that's like in every subway like uh
Yes.
place thingy whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like he opened it, was like, come on,
Just come on in.
everybody's
Yeah.
doing it. Like
Yeah.
a couple of like guys, like yeah, like jumping over the thing is like pretty. I didn't do it
Yeah.
because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be like a good temporary
No, you
American
should have
living
done
for.
it. You should have snuck in, bro. You speak
No,
Spanish. You're
because then I
good.
have no grounds. Then I have no grounds to criticize illegal immigration and
That's
people
true. That's
jumping over
true.
the.
That's true.
It's
That's
a
true. That's
matter of
true.
principle.
No, you're right.
I'm
You're
done.
right. You're right. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. So you saw a lot of that crazy stuff going on. Did you get into any other places besides Manhattan? Like where else did you go in New York?
We went to Brooklyn because there's a lot of, well, cheaper, not cheap, but cheaper stores in Brooklyn to buy stuff, clothes and comics and books and
Okay.
whatnot.
Okay.
And what else? We went to Chelsea. Is technically Manhattan, but it's like a different neighborhood. We went
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
Chelsea Market.
Nice.
Chelsea Market is really nice. Like
Yeah.
this old, like 1920s brick factory. Like I mean, it's built of bricks, like
Yeah.
with all
Brownstone.
architecture, the pipes and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's been like repurposed as a vintage hipster type market, and it was really nice. Like you saw like the local artists selling their
Very cool.
stuff and like small bakeries. It
Yeah.
was pretty cool.
What was the good food that you had in New York City? Did you have any like standout meals that you were like, holy shit, this was great?
I love Philly cheesesteak.
Philly
I think
cheesesteak. Let's go. Now, where'd you go to get a Philly cheesesteak? Do you remember?
I think it was Mama's.
Mom's?
Used to be Nathan's. It's
Yeah.
like a food court in the 8th Avenue,
Yeah.
and it's Mama's now. But they still like we used to go there. We still go every now and then, and they used to make a pretty good Philly cheesesteak sandwich. They still do.
Nice.
Like
Nice.
they haven't fired all the stuff,
Now,
so they have like still.
how much was that Philly cheesesteak though? Was it expensive?
Yeah,
Because it sounds expensive.
yeah.
Like how what are we
It
talking?
was pretty freaking. It
So
was
you're
like pretty.
gonna get like what, a full Philly cheesesteak? What is that, a 12-inch? And then you're gonna get maybe fries or chips and a
I
drink.
actually have the hero, like the round thing, not
Okay.
not the roll. I
Okay.
think there's a difference between the hero, which is like a burger bun, and a
Yeah.
roll, which is like a. And I got the hero because I didn't get. I don't want to get fucking fat, which always happens to me when I'm in the US
Yeah,
because
yeah,
the
yeah.
portions are so large,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Oh, and
And
then
I got the hero.
also you're a hero, so it makes sense. Yeah,
I am a hero.
yeah, yeah.
I am a hero of the Federation
That's right.
in the
Uh,
war against arachnids. And I think it was like $20. Probably
okay,
twenty
that's not too
bucks.
bad. That's not too bad. It's
Yeah,
a,
it's like affordable.
yeah, it's definitely not like the $12 or $13 that I would expect, but it's not too bad, bro. It's not too bad.
It's like luckily we know some spots to which like regular people go to eat, not just
Yeah,
tourists.
yeah.
You can see like
Yeah,
cops
avoid
and
the tourist
construction
spots.
workers.
100%. Avoid all tourist spots. Not
So
only is it
we
going to
know
be,
our spots.
yeah, not only is it going to be expensive, but the food's dog shit, bro. It's not even good stuff anymore. Once upon a time,
It's not better. It's
yeah,
not better than the stuff that you can get at a Sabret's or
yeah,
at some diner somewhere.
yeah,
It's like it's not special. It's just more expensive.
yeah. Now you told me that one of your favorite places to go was the diners in America. Did you go to a lot of diners in New York City? Did you?
I tried to
Yeah.
go nowhere but diners.
Okay, great.
I went to well, Mama's technically a diner. That's my dad over there.
All right. Shout out to
Uh,
Dad. Shout out to Dad.
I'll tell him
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah.
He's
Tell him
gonna
tomorrow. Yeah, he's like, fuck these
Uh,
guys. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, it's like we're talking to your American friends again.
Those Americans. Arr.
Or the commies.
Yeah, you got to
No,
tell him
they're
you're
commies.
famous in America, bro. You got to tell him that.
I'll tell him.
Yeah, tell him I'm
He'll
yeah,
like to know his
on the
son
west
is like a
on the
local
West
star,
Coast.
you
Yeah, 100%.
West Coast. So yeah, we went to Mama's. Mama's is technically a diner. It's like more of a food court, but like still has that diner energy.
Yeah, yeah.
What else? What else? Manhattan. Manhattan was more of a just like go there and eat whatever you catch it. I think we had more lunches and dinners and stuff at diners in the South, down in the South, because there's like they still remain there. The South, the small Savannah is not a small town, but it's a smaller town.
Now,
So
how did you guys decide to go down to Savannah? I know in Charleston, and just because those are both beautiful cities, but they're not normally like a big stop for Europeans. Was it because of the architecture that you mentioned earlier that you were like, hey, we'd like to go check that out?
because my mom is a huge fan of the Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil by
Oh yeah,
Clint
yeah.
Eastwood. He loves the
I
movie. She loves
love,
the
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
So
That's a fantastic movie. It's a great book
she
too.
always thought that Savannah was a beautiful city, and she
Yeah.
wanted to check it out.
Yeah, well, they have beautiful trees there. The big wide,
Mhm.
tree. I don't know what they're called, what kind of trees they are, but they're fantastic. I've always wanted to go paint there. So, did you go to Charleston first or Savannah first?
Yeah, we flew from Newark to Charleston,
Okay.
and we stayed in Charleston for I think
Now,
3 nights.
what was your take on Charleston? How did you like Charleston?
I like Charleston.
Yeah.
It's like port slash college city, so
Yes,
it's
it's
got
very
a lot of
college.
life.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of like nightlife,
Yeah.
big
Now,
nightlife, a lot
and the
of things
style,
to do.
the style in Charleston is very strange, though. I will say that it's very strange. Like in Charleston, they like to have these jackets that have polka dots on them, and they have like really strange colors. They have the men wear a lot of pastels. Like in any other city, you might think they're gay, but in Charleston, you're like, no, that's normal.
It's like a local thing.
Yeah, they wear bow ties a lot. Little tiny top hats and stuff.
Yeah, I saw. I think it was Charles. Yeah, I saw like again a colored gentleman, but this time I mean it unironically
Yeah,
because he was like such a dapper guy.
they do.
I,
They're
I felt
very
like
they're very stylish down there.
I felt like congratulating him on his style because he was like wearing this green two-piece suit
Yeah.
with a bow tie and like a straw fedora.
Yes. Yeah.
And like this like white trimmed beard, and like
Yeah.
he looked like an absolute gentleman. I actually took a picture and sent it to my dad. Like, whoa, check this guy.
Yeah, the
He's like,
straw hat is really big down there. The straw hat is huge. It's a whole thing, bro. All throughout the South, but especially like in Charleston. Charleston seems to be the epitome of like the Southern kind of style that's just been, in a crucible and like concentrated. How was the food down there? Did you what
the
were your
food
thoughts?
was pretty good.
Okay,
The food was
what
pretty
kind of
good.
what
We
kind
got
of food did you get into?
we had a lot of seafood. I had like lobster rolls,
Yeah.
and I wanted to have gator.
Yeah, yeah,
Because every time I
gator.
go to the south, I have gator in one capacity or another. I don't know, fried gator or gator in a burger or something. I couldn't get gator this time,
Yeah.
but I did have some shrimp, some fried shrimp.
Yeah.
What was it called? The flounder. I had a fried flounder.
Yeah.
What else?
And
Fried calamari, of course.
what stood out to you? What meal stood out to you the most?
That's a good question. I'm sure there was one. Let me think.
And was it very
I
expensive down there compared to New York City, or was it less
It was
expensive?
cheaper.
It was
It was
cheaper.
not cheap, but it was because it's a big city, so but it was cheaper. Like it
Yeah.
was more affordable. So,
Yeah.
if you wanna live more comfortably, definitely move to like one of those cities in the
Yeah.
south.
Yeah.
I remember the flounder. The flounder was pretty good, and I'm not a big fish guy. I'm more of a meat. I like to eat things that roar or moo or scream
Okay. Or moo.
because I
Yeah.
absorb their power.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how
Uh,
I stay young and beautiful.
that's right. That's right. Now you're having a good stuff. Now, what about the ladies down there? What was the ladies like compared to New York City or Charleston, South Carolina?
America in general. I think America in general, the places I've been, I think you fall in love like 2 or 3 times per day
Let's go,
on
Ibai. Yeah, the
on an
romantic. I
average.
love it. Yeah.
Like wow, like I'm not so much into like hot chicks. I'm into beautiful chicks.
Okay. What's the difference between a
And
hot chick and a beautiful chick?
hot chicks are like this Victoria's Secret model type
Okay.
ladies or
Okay.
like Baywatch type ladies. They're pretty hot,
Yeah. Yeah.
but like I like a beautiful face better. Like I
Okay.
especially like eyes. Like those like they don't have to be clear eyes. They can be
Right.
like dark eyes, but like
Okay.
nothing beats, in my book, nothing beats a pair of beautiful eyes.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's a shit ton of women with like beautiful eyes in the US, like strikingly beautiful.
Okay. Let's
So
go, Ibai. Yeah. Let's
don't
do it.
stare, like I have to like try hard not to stare.
Now, when you see an attractive lady, do you do any of that like flirt and pickup game, or what do you normally do? Where you're like, "Hey, baby,"
I I'm usually
or do you
less
blush? Do you blush a little bit?
introverted.
Yeah.
I
Okay. All right.
the
your
thing I like
your
about
mom's over there
Americans,
like, talk to her, talk to her.
the main difference between Americans and Spaniards is that Americans aren't afraid of each other. Like
Mm.
Spaniards, for some reason, are a super repressed country,
Oh,
at least where I
okay.
live.
Okay.
They're like, they look down and like they speak like they don't fully open their mouth. And like Americans are like super outgoing.
Okay.
So if you like standing besides a hot chick or a
Yeah.
beautiful woman in this
Yeah.
case, and
Yeah.
in an elevator, and like you can like strike conversation with her, and
Yeah.
that's not weird.
Yeah.
Like, wow, it's hot today, right? Yeah, like it sucks, man. It's
Yeah.
like it's the humidity that
Yeah.
gets you. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, whenever I have the chance, I would like just like comment something, and
Yeah. Uh,
nothing happened, but you never know.
Yeah, shout out to FOMO in that chat. She says, "I bet Ibai can get his flirt on. Let's fucking go." Yeah, Americans, they do the little thing like when we're here in America, we gotta be forward. We say, "Man, it's hot in here. You want to suck my dick?" That's how we do.
That's more of a California thing, though.
Nah,
That's more like a
no, that's yeah. Well, that's more of an urban. That's urban
urban.
coded. Suck my dick. So you saw some cute girls, bro. That's great. That's great.
Mm.
And so then you made your way down after a couple of days. And did you go see any landmarks or anything like that? What did you go by and
Uh,
see in Charleston?
while we were in Charleston, we went to see Fort Sumter, which
Okay.
is like in the coast of the Cooper River, and
Yeah.
like and the park. I think it was Liberty Park,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
I got a shit ton of pictures because I forget things. Part of my day job is taking a lot of punches to the head,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I forget stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, we went to see Fort Sumter. We went to see the river. We went to see the
Yeah.
marketplace.
Uh-huh.
This beautiful, like again, like colonial building with like elaborate handles on the stairs, like when you put your hands. I forgot how you say that in English.
Yeah.
Really long, and again, there was like a lot of artisanal things, a lot of local artists buying their stuff.
Yeah.
There were even like secondhand books and people selling trading cards in like plastic envelopes to
Okay.
collect them.
Oh,
Like,
that's cool. What about
mhm.
did you see very many homeless people or people street vendors in Charleston, South Carolina, or no?
Actually, here's a funny story. I was walking down Marion Park. I
Okay.
remember the Marion Park because we commented on it being the real name of John Wayne. And this pretty hot chick walks by
Oh
in
yeah.
one of
Let's
these
go.
like underwear looking yoga thingies,
Yeah.
and there's like this old fat homeless guy like staring at her like
yeah,
like his eyes are gonna pop out of his head.
yeah,
And we cross because I was also looking like damn.
yeah,
And we cross we make eye contact and we smile at each other.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, good taste, grandpa. He's like, yeah. He's like really southerner in his like demeanor. Is like the the attire of modern women really has a lot to study, doesn't it?
That's what
For
he
sure.
said. That's
That's
hilarious.
what is like, bro. You earn $1. Here's $1. I give you
That
$1. It's
that's
like that
hilarious.
was super funny.
We got Roots in the chat. He says, Ibai looks like he owns a yacht. Dude is probably banging all kinds of women with that accent. Yeah, 100% agree with that. We were just talking about that. Him coming over to America. See, that's the thing, Ibai, is when you come to America with your accent or James with his accent, you guys got the upper step with these women because they're like, oh my God, wow, you got this, nice, different accent. It's really drawing me in. So then you guys went around and saw all that there was to see that you thought in Charleston, South Carolina, and you made your way down to Savannah. How was that? Did you guys fly down there? Did you guys drive? What did you guys do?
No, we actually rode a Greyhound.
Greyhound.
We
Okay.
rode Greyhound, and because that's what we really like to travel because we see the country,
Yeah.
we like. And I remember the trip being really cool
Yeah.
because we saw truckers, like the homes of the truckers, and they had like this massive like rigs parked in front of the houses.
Yeah.
And that I realized, oh, of course, they're like independent truckers. That means like they own the truck, so they just take the thing home and they
Yeah.
park it in front of the house. Like it's a lawnmower.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was really crazy. Like it's super super cool,
I know,
super cool. Lots
especially
of
from
lots of Harleys too.
especially from Europe, because I guess you guys don't have that a lot in Europe, right? Or do you?
No, as far as I know, truckers here like drive company trucks.
Okay. Okay.
You get a truck assigned and you drive it from point A to point B, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like in the US, I guess you buy your own rig
Yeah.
and they tell you like drive this car, take this cargo to whatever before they whatever, and you get paid.
Yeah,
Makes
yeah.
sense.
Where I live too, I'm right off a huge freeway in between LA and Las Vegas, and we got a whole bunch of those kind of independent truckers as well that just pull off. It's really crazy to see them parked in front of their house. So yeah, it is pretty crazy to see. And so then you made it down to Savannah, Georgia. How was the food down in Savannah?
Pretty similar actually because they're like I
Pretty
think in the
close.
same coast,
Yeah,
just like Savannah is farther down south. So yeah, also lots of lobster, crabs. We did have crabs. I think my mom had a crab sandwich.
yeah.
What else?
Was
So yeah,
it
lots
and
of lot
what
of
was
lots
it
of
more
bunches to do.
expensive or cheaper? Was it the cheapest of the three in Savannah, Georgia, or was it kind
I
of the
think it may
same?
have been the cheaper.
Oh, the
I think
cheapest.
it may have been the cheapest. I
Yeah.
will have to like do some accounting,
Yeah.
but I think
And,
it was the cheapest.
and what did your mom think? Did it live up to like what she wanted to see in the book of
Yes.
Garden of Good and Evil? Did it kind of live up to what her idea was?
Yeah, no, we both thought that especially the South is a beautiful place.
Yeah.
It has like this old school feel. They're still like southern cities are still more like themselves that some like cities like New York, where everything is gentrified.
Yeah.
Like Savannah and Charleston still feel like themselves, like
Yeah.
they, I guess, should feel.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. The South still retains much of its identity because a lot of people don't want to live down there. They want to live in the big cities or whatever. So then everybody moves to the big cities. They change the big city what it used to be.
Mhm.
Even back in the early days of New York City, when the Italians first moved there, they created all their own little little barrios or their own little areas where they were, little Italy and all that kind of stuff. And then that has now been replaced by little Somalia or a little
Yeah.
Cambodia or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's all changing. But in the South, you can still see remnants of how how America used to look back in the 50s, 60s, and maybe
Mhm.
even before that, and get a good taste of the culture. Now, where did you guys go in Georgia to visit? Anything fun in Savannah?
We went to see the Riverwalk, of course, and we tried to go there the first night, but it was a rainy night in Georgia.
Yes, yes,
See
yeah,
what I did there?
yeah. I see what
Like
you did.
it rained like a motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah.
One of those like southern summer showers.
Downpours. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Downpours.
amazing, insane. So we had to like stay in the hotel and just watch movies.
Yeah,
But yeah, we went to walk through the river walk. We went to thanks to Unearthing America, good friend on Twitter. We went to have lunch at the River House River House restaurant, River House seafood,
Oh,
River
nice.
House seafood restaurant.
Yeah.
We got a really cool spot
Yeah.
because it's like, again, it's like this old school wooden like sea, like port style restaurant, and we got a table at a really cool spot, and we could see the river,
Yes.
and we saw like the I think it's like a Georgia Queen. It's
Yeah.
like this steamboat that goes
Yeah.
up and down the river,
Yeah. Like
and
a
we saw it go
was it a
by a couple
paddle
of
boat?
times.
Like a paddle boat? Like it had a big
Yeah, it was
wheel
like
on the
one of
back?
like
Yeah.
yeah, it's like in the movie Maverick with Mel
Yeah.
Gibson.
Yes. Yes. That
The
one.
final like it's one of those like beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah. A big
And we saw
Mark
it like
Twain.
go pass by like a couple of times. It was super cool.
Yeah. Now the cool thing about the South is they do have a lot of rivers, and then like it's a different type of culture and community on the rivers. And the paddle boats, that's what they're called. They're fantastic too. They're a lot of fun to see. They're all vintage. You could take a ride on some of them. Some of them are even a restaurant, if you can believe that. And some of them are a casino.
We actually took a ride in the Natchez when we visited New Orleans a few years before COVID.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to like the full southern experience. So we actually rode the Natchez. It's
Oh,
like the
very
local
cool. Yeah.
almost. It's super cool.
Yeah, and for people who don't know, the South does have tremendous thunderstorms, like no joke,
Mhm.
big time thunderstorms. It's very fun. I do miss those. They also have lightning bugs. I don't know if you saw any lightning bugs down in Georgia.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I saw like a ton of lightning.
Now,
And apparently it's pretty common to just have like lightning storms, right? Like
yeah,
no rain, just like
no, it's true.
electricity in the air.
And also horizontal lightning. They got a lot of that going on.
Yes.
Yeah, we used to call it heat lightning back when I was a kid. But did you see very many homeless people in Georgia, like or street vendors or anything like that, or like
No, not
not
really.
too much?
I thought Georgia was surprisingly clean. Like I didn't see many homeless people, and yeah, I remember noticing that in Charleston, the streets weren't too well maintained.
Uh-huh.
I could tell like in Charleston people don't really walk that much. It's more of a driving city, more of like a
Yeah,
walkable city.
yeah.
But in like in Savannah, the streets were a bit like more even.
Okay.
So I noticed that, and also the weather in Charleston was much harsher. It was like much higher, and it felt like a sauna. Like I
Okay.
remember when we woke up in the morning, the windows were like covered in like steam
Oh, so it's
just
much
from
more
outside
humid. Yeah, from the humidity.
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now, you've been to a lot of places in America. You've been to the South. Is this your? You said earlier you went to down to what is it?
New Orleans.
Louisiana, New Orleans, and Louisiana. Have you been in any other places in the South, or is these the?
We went to New Orleans, Louisiana. We went to Austin once.
Okay. How'd you like
Also,
Austin?
so
Yeah. What did you think of Austin?
Austin was cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Austin was cool. I actually hung out with my friends Michael Derrick from the Abductables
Yeah.
and Alex Garcia from Johnny's Law, which is
Okay.
an unpublished book that I wrote.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was pretty cool. We went to see. I remember that was the first time I didn't buy any comic books because I went with Michael Derrick to a local comic book store, and we looked for like new releases. And it was like total trash.
What
Like,
what
whoa,
what
this sucks, man.
what year was that? Do you remember? Was that
I think it was probably 2019. It was
29?
probably
Oh,
the
okay.
year
So pretty
before COVID.
recent. So pretty recent.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
pretty recent.
That's crazy, yeah. Because I think I went to Austin. Like that's funny. I went to Austin maybe in 2020 or 2021. I went through there. Thought about moving there for a minute, but then I was like, man, fuck this place, bro. Because they really, they were like very liberal, especially for me from
Yeah,
California.
it's like the more it's basically like California and Texas.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't like that. But where else have you been in America? Have you been to the West Coast at all?
Went to San Francisco one. I
Okay.
really like San Francisco, but that was like maybe more than 10 years ago, probably like 2013. I remember things still hadn't gotten crazy
Yeah.
with the commies in power, so it was like still everything was normal.
Yeah.
So it was probably like 2013, something like that.
Yeah, I was
And
there that time in 2013. I was still living in
huh,
San Francisco. Yeah, it was still good then. Yeah, I remember that.
mm,
Yeah.
I remember there you could still notice like the amount of homeless people in the streets,
Yeah.
but it was still not too, it wasn't too striking. Like, okay, there's a couple of homeless guys,
Yeah.
it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's normal.
I remember during that time they was the first time they made an app that you could mark where people shit in the street so you could avoid it. They made an app where everybody who like walked around and everything could let everybody else know to avoid the poop from where if somebody took a poop.
Modern problems require modern
Yeah,
solutions.
well, the crazy thing is like even like a lot of Chinese people would just come and take shits in the street, bro. Yeah, there was this lady I remember. She would ride not the subway, but the BART or whatever every day or whatever, and she would get off at the BART station and shit in the same corner every day. And people tried to stop her, but they couldn't stop her, and the police wouldn't arrest her, man. And so she was from China, and she would just took a shit in the corner after she got off the BART every morning at the same time, bro. It was crazy. Shout out to Miami John in the chat. Good to see you, bro. But yeah, it was nuts, man. And so you got to watch out. So you've been in San Francisco. San Francisco now is dead, bro. It is dead. If you
That's
went
what I
there,
heard.
it all of the businesses are gone. Even businesses that have been there for 100 years, they're fucking gone, bro. They're fucking smoked. If you can believe that.
Well, it's the
Very
same
sad.
thing here. Like a couple of like restaurants and bars and stuff that are like date from like maybe the 1800s.
Yes,
I'm not
yes,
even kidding. They have to close down. Like
yeah,
places from the 1800s were like, it's
yeah.
it's like
There was
that's
a
socialist for
there
you.
was a restaurant called the Cliff House that was there from the 1800s in San Francisco, and it got closed down. It's been there over 100 years, and a lot of the mom and pop stores, like you talked about, socialism destroys the mom and pop stores, and there was some hard.
It only works for the big brands, for the big franchises. Like the small businesses can deal with it.
Yeah. The small hardware stores are gone. I remember I used to drive to the Costco there every weekend, and the Costco was like surrounded in gates and in metal and fences, and it looked like a fortified bunker. And I would have to drive down the F Street, and F Street is very famous in San Francisco because every year it has an F Street parade or whatever, where it's all the most kinky sexual people do a parade. Like, they're in their dog outfits and they have their fucking dick out and all that kind of stuff, and they give blowjobs in the street. And like, I had to drive through that shit.
The kind of shit you do when you want to be considered a normal, productive member of society.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, of course, yeah, of course. And so it was a fucking nightmare, man. It was a nightmare. So I got out of there in like 2013, 2014, somewhere in there. But it was horrible. So you've been in San Francisco. You ever been to LA or anything like that? You got to come to LA next time.
Not yet. I actually don't feel too attracted by LA because it always looks like a big soulless city to me.
Yeah,
And even though it has like some cool places like maybe Malibu
yeah,
or like those Spanish neighborhoods, like
yeah.
the city in itself is like kind of like this big brutalist great
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, I don't know.
No, next time you come to LA, I'll drive down there. I'll take you guys all around to the good spots. We'll go down to San Diego too.
All right.
I'll take you guys down to
Cool.
San Diego. Then on the way
Cool. We
back,
wanted to visit San Diego to check out San Diego Comic Con, but I don't know if we're gonna do that because comics suck nowadays.
yeah, and it's super busy. You have to get your passes like the year before.
Yeah.
It used to be like you used to be able to get like a half day pass towards the end of the day when it was kind of emptying out a little bit for cheaper. But I don't know if they still do that. But then we'll drive back up. I'll take you guys to Newport Beach. Let you guys check that out. That's a fucking blast.
Oh, actually, I just watched a movie set in Newport Beach.
Yeah, Newport Beach is great. Love Newport Beach.
How coincidental.
Yeah, San Clemente is fantastic, and there's a lot of great places, a lot of great places to eat. But the thing is if you don't have somebody to kind of show you around, it's way too massive to figure it out, bro. Because LA is not a small city; it's a huge, huge city spread out everywhere. They have great places, but it's hard to get to because you need a car. You can't take the bus. Never take the bus in LA. It's fucking terrible. I don't know if you guys ever did the public transportation, like taking the bus in New York, but I hated it, bro. No, fuck that.
Yeah, we didn't do New York. We did Chicago. We actually rode the bus in Chicago, and it was okay. It was fine.
Yeah.
We usually take the subway.
Yeah.
And it's risky enough. It's risky enough.
Yeah, horrible. But in LA too, you got to have a car and you have to know where to go. So you got to have a little bit of the local experience. We got Seashell SoCal in the chat. She says, got to do SoCal. Newport Beach is the best. Yeah, they have fantastic restaurants down in Newport Beach, all over the place in Newport Beach that are just amazing, bro. I used to go to this place, R&D Kitchen in Fashion Island, all the time. They had the best cheesecake I've ever had anywhere. It's just fucking incredible. But every little place is known for something like that, and they're all spread out. There's great fish and chips, or all that kind of stuff, and but you have to know where to go.
That's the thing. Like, since we're European, we're used to walking.
Yeah.
So we really like our cities to be walkable. Like New York is pretty walkable.
Okay.
Like it's Spread out,
Yeah, you cannot walk in LA. Even Hillbilly Hair in the chat
yeah,
says nobody walks in LA, bro. That is the
yeah. I
truth.
noticed that.
And it,
Nobody works in several American cities. Like nobody works in Houston either.
well, I mean, you're gonna
Like
get shot if you walk in Houston.
yeah,
That's for sure. But no, you're right. Nobody walks in Houston. The thing about LA though is everybody drives at least an hour, and they think it's normal. Like in the other city, that's not normal. But in LA, it's like, oh yeah, it took me 2 hours to get there. It took me an hour to get across town or whatever. And they think it's normal. But no big deal. But next time if you guys come to the SoCal, we'll set it all up. I'll drive down. I'll take you guys around to the good spots for a couple days. We'll have a
no,
blast. Yeah. And maybe we'll stream it too. That'll be a lot of fun.
that would be
we'll
awesome.
do food reviews. We'll go to the restaurants. We'll do a little review. We'll do
Oh,
that'll be fun.
I just remember the food that I never tried that I
Okay.
really liked.
All right.
It was like the peach glazed pork chop that
Yes.
I had the last night while we were in Charleston. We went
Yeah.
to the hotel restaurant because we wanted to try it,
Yeah.
and it was kind of expensive, but it was pretty nice. And yeah, they gave me like this delicious pork chop covering like peach. How you say that? Like not juice. When you did the things,
Like
and it's sauce, peach
sauce. Okay.
sauce,
Yeah.
like a peach sauce,
Yeah.
and it was on a base of, I guess it was rice and beans, something
Yeah.
like that, with some salad and
Yeah.
some fries. Really good.
Now that's the thing about the South is they pair a lot of their meat with fruit, which is fantastic. And I think I told you
Mhm.
about that. Often they'll do a sauce, they'll put it in their barbecue sauce, or they'll also make a compote. Well, a compote is something more like
Compota, yeah.
pico de gallo, something like that, where it has a bigger
Yeah,
pieces.
compota, say in Spanish.
Okay, a compote, yeah. And it is fantastic. I absolutely love that, and especially when they pair it with like,
I actually bought a cigar. I bought a peach bourbon infused cigar
oh,
in the
okay,
Charleston market. So I
okay,
plan on smoking it this weekend or whenever I can,
yeah.
like just for
Now,
a special occasion.
Now, Charleston is also known for their fantastic bars. Did you have a chance to go
Mm.
to any of their bars? Like they have like real deal mixologists. They don't call them bartenders; they're mixologists.
We went to tap houses,
Yeah,
tap houses in both in Georgia and Savannah and Charleston.
yeah,
And I didn't know that was a thing, but they had like this row of taps with like drinks.
hmm
Most of them are beer, some of them
yeah,
aren't. I thought it was a very cool idea.
yeah.
And yeah, I really like the. Again, it's got like this regular dude atmosphere that New York City doesn't have, except if you go when you go to like places like Jimmy's Corner, which is like this old boxer themed bar
yeah,
in Times Square. It's like more of a like an average Joe type of joint, but like, people who had just finished their work at construction or were to have a drink,
yeah,
and you could get that
yeah,
in Savannah and Charleston, like more normal. Just sit down in the bar and someone comes along and, hey, what do you want? Give me a beer. Cool. It's
yeah.
normal
Average
stuff.
Joe. Yeah, average Joe kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Now you went to a lot of places in throughout like Savannah. You went to Charleston. You went to New York City. How was the temperament of the people? Like you said, like American people are nice, and I was kind of like, oh, well, New York City, are they nice there? Like, what was your idea?
I actually bought.
What was
I
your
think I
take
have it some.
on the hospitality of like
Give me
Americans?
a second. I think yeah. Yes. I actually bought a book while I was in New York called
Okay,
"That's So New York."
okay,
It's about anecdotes that happened to this guy, or at least this guy compiled them about the temperament of New Yorkers. And I think I mentioned it on Twitter, but I was when I was at the Chelsea market, I went to the public restroom. I was taking a leak, and suddenly this Latino guy like starts to pee in the stall right next to me and puts his cell phone on top of the stall and starts FaceTiming with a friend. And the friend's like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?" And the guy feels like, "Yo, shut the fuck up! I'm taking a leak. I need to talk to you about something."
yeah, yeah,
I I look at some black guy who was again colored gentleman that was
yeah,
taking a leak
yeah, yeah,
beside me. We look at each other. We're like, "Well, this is so New York, bro.
yeah, yeah,
This is such a fucking New York thing." I went to a local bookstore and I bought this book. That's
yeah,
so New York because
yeah,
I felt like, yeah, I have finally experienced New York. The
yeah, yeah.
temperament of New York.
Well,
Just shut the fuck up.
yeah, yeah. How was the American hospitality? Was it did they treat you well? Did they? Yeah,
Super, super nice.
yeah.
Americans are super nice. They're
Okay,
like waiters and bartenders always try to earn their tips. They're,
okay,
at least in my experience,
yeah,
they're always super nice to you, and I don't know if if they sense that you are a foreigner, they
Yeah.
will like try to speak slower
Okay.
and explain things to you. They're not
Yeah.
like, nah, fuck you, learn English. Not like, no, this thing
Okay.
here, it's like it's like a souffle,
Yeah.
whatever, and it's like kind of sweet. I don't know if you like it. Like
Yeah.
they're nice. Like
Yeah.
it seems like they care about you.
Yeah. Well, how was the tipping thing? I mean, you've tipped before. You know how that goes, but there's no tipping in Europe. How was it when you came over here? Did you tip a lot or did you not tip a lot? Like, what'd you do?
I try
Yeah.
to be a good American. I try
Yeah.
to like again earn the respect and the love of the
Yeah.
American people. So I was like
Yeah.
pretty generous, and like whenever some guy was, some street musician was playing on the street, I would give him $1, stuff like that. You're like,
Okay. All right.
mm.
All right, fantastic. So then you hear about like everything that's going on in Spain. When did you hear about like the Moroccans going into Spain? Were you still in America?
I think it was in Georgia. I definitely wasn't in New York City.
Yeah,
Somewhere in the South. Yeah, I was
yeah,
like, what the fuck is going on? And I have seen stuff like that before. Like it's a pretty common occurrence. There's like, excuse me, waves of like migrants
yeah,
for some reason decide to come by the thousands, and like they like either jump over the fence
yeah,
or like clip a little hole and like crawl through it.
yeah,
But like this was crazy. Like they were actually opening the gates, letting them
yeah.
in.
What
Like
was so then? What were your initial thoughts when you saw that? Were you like, oh my god, or were you like, is this normal, or are they
well,
trying to give back that
I
city
thought
of Quetta back to the Moroccans? Like, what's going on?
Ceuta is fucked.
Yeah,
So that's the first thing that I thought is Ceuta. Ceuta is
is that
fucked.
how you say it?
Like
Thueta
the Ceuta, yeah, it's a small city that belongs to Spain, even though it's in
in
Moroccan
Morocco?
territory. It's
Yeah,
a long,
yeah.
long sad story, but yeah, the Ceutan people actually called for help,
Yes, they
called the
did.
government for help.
Yeah, and the
They
government
did
didn't
because
do
the
shit.
situation. Everybody's. I mean, I haven't looked into it because I've only been in my own country for like 3 days.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm still trying to, you know, settle in again.
yeah.
But I'm not sure what's going on. Like, well, our president has gone on vacation. Our Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has
He
gone on
went. He
vacation.
went on vacation.
He went on vacation. He went
Holy
to La
shit.
Mareta, which is a palace that it's only reserved it's like kind of like our Mar-a-Lago. He
Yeah,
went to our Mar-a-Lago, La
yeah,
Mareta, to
yeah,
like chill
yeah.
with his
To
wife,
chill.
and
What a motherfucker. Yeah. Uh, we
indeed.
we had the same thing happen with when we had the big fire in California. The mayor was out of town, and the same thing happened in Hawaii and
Mm. I
Lahaina
saw that with
and
like
Maui. They were out of town on vacation, or how you say it, a vacation, vacacion,
vacaciones.
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 So then you're like, holy shit. So then when you guys flew back to Spain, how was it when you went back? Was there a higher like people on guard? Was it like were they worried about
No,
you, or
not
is it
yet
normal?
because not yet because it's only been a few days. You're
Okay.
still not gonna feel it unless you live in Ceuta.
Uh-huh. Okay.
People in Ceuta are terrified
Okay.
because I think
Yes.
if the math is correct, there's one migrant per two Ceutan citizens.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it's like
That's a
almost
lot.
1-1. It's
Yeah.
almost 1-1. Like
Yeah.
the city doesn't belong to them anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far we haven't felt anything worse than that we've been what we've been feeling for the last few years because lots of the cities, including mine, that used to be safe-ish,
Yeah.
aren't safe anymore.
Oh.
I commented it on Twitter recently as well. We go to this bar, this typical Basque bar,
Yeah.
and it's run by the nicest, funniest guy. Like everybody likes him. It's
Yeah.
like some kind of entry level test. You have to be nice and funny to work at that bar.
Okay.
Everybody likes the people working at the bar. And one night, he had like a surgical glove, like a black plastic glove in his hand.
Yeah.
And we asked him, "What happened to your hand, man?" It was like two Arab guys ran into the bar and started to fight each other with knives.
What?
And I tried to pull them apart,
Uh-huh.
and one of them cut me in my hand. So
Holy
they have to
shit.
like give me stitches and put me a.
Wow. Wow, that the
And
knife fights.
he told me like, yeah, they're actually they congregate, they get together in like this alleyway right next to the bar because
Yeah.
like this smaller city bar there that used to belong to again a local. And no, I don't know why
Yeah.
it belongs to a bunch of Arabs, and they apparently like they it's like a gathering place for them, and shit starts there,
Yeah.
and it spreads to like entire town.
Yeah, what I found is that the NGOs own these places, and they fund and
Yes.
they traffic these people, and then they pay for
Mhm.
them to be there, or like the migrants go there to get their cell phones. There's a reason, and they're getting paid to be there, and that's what's crazy is that's how the government is subverting its citizens. They pay the NGOs to then take care and then guide the migrants in and replace the population with migrants. That's crazy.
It's clearly a replacement. It's not even a conspiracy theory. Like that's what they want.
Yeah, yeah,
They've said so themselves. There's too many white people in Spain.
yeah,
Okay, what does it mean? That there has to be like less white people?
yeah,
You mean you want non-white people to replace the white people? Well, that's not. Yeah, that's exactly what it
yeah.
means.
That's exactly what it means. Yeah, exactly. And
You know, just
also,
because you aren't saying it aloud.
yeah. The other thing that I've noticed is that there's this big push not to talk about genetics, the link between genetics and IQ. And it's funny that they're flooding these higher IQ places with lower IQ people. So they don't want us to talk about it, but there's definitely a correlation there. You don't see it the other way around. You don't see the lifestyles being elevated. You see them being ripped down. It's
You see
insane.
the average going down.
Yeah, you see the average going down. And I think that's also because the elites are becoming more and more retarded themselves. And so they're becoming more and more stupid. And so they want to, they instead of them becoming better, they're deteriorating their gene pool. They want to deteriorate our gene pool. So we're more retarded. I think that's what's going on. And that's a big thing that you can't talk about. They're like, oh, that's racist and all this kind of shit. But whatever,
Oh, it's
bro.
the fucking truth. Like, I don't think there's a single country in Africa that has an average higher IQ than any country in Europe, in the
Yeah, no,
US,
it's not, you're
state
100%
of the
right.
US.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And it's scary because the people driving the wheel of our governments are basically idiots that are trying to retain power so they don't have to transition.
They're like malevolent idiots. They're
Yes.
malignant idiots.
Yeah.
They're stupid, but they're also trying to hurt you.
Yeah.
And they have enough power
Yeah.
to like make your life
Yeah.
difficult enough.
And they
But
remind
I
me
always say that
they remind me of the girlfriend that says, "If I can't have you, nobody can,"
yes,
and then she'll burn down the entire house or some
it's
shit
a
like
it's a
that.
it's a very feminine mindset, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
the ones driving these policies are mostly women. I've said recently as
Oh my
well
god,
that
yeah.
the most destructive thing, at least in Spain, is an old Spanish lady going like this and saying "es precioso," which means it's beautiful. It's beautiful because it usually means two bearded dudes kissing,
Ah.
or a
Yeah.
transvestite kid,
Yeah.
or a mosque being built.
Yeah.
You know, it's either of those things. Like when a middle-aged to old Spanish woman goes like it's beautiful with like
Yeah.
buttery eyes,
Yeah.
that means something awful.
Yeah, it's this hatred that I'm noticing aimed at fathers.
Yes.
The fathers that are indigenous to that area for whatever generations you want to say. Whether it's the Spaniards, the Basques, that have been there for a while. The women grow up and they hate their fathers, and then they're programmed to hate their fathers, and they project that out onto the society.
Or at least they don't think fathers are a positive thing. And I've noticed that I've did notice this. I've been noticing this for a long time, like since I was a kid. Basque parents, Basque fathers don't act like fathers, they act like friends.
oh,
They actually get drunk together with their kids.
oh,
I've seen that shit happen.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, it's like it's normal. You take your kid to a local pub and you get shit faced with him. Like he's 16, so it's legal. You're like 40 or whatever,
yeah,
and it's legal. And it's normal.
yeah.
And I've dated chicks who got drunk and text from their fathers.
Oh, that's crazy. That's weird.
You
Uh,
think that shit? Can you
yeah.
believe that shit?
We got a chat from Nacho in the chat. He says people need to find the rage of their ancestors when they had the revolution. Ancient wars took place to take back their countries. I agree with that, Nacho. I even said that what we need to do is we need to re-equip men with the threat of violence. Men need to
Yes.
have the threat of violence. All of this can be
Yes.
solved very quickly with the threat. If you give men the ability to protect their family, to protect their women, and to protect their property and their children, then all of this will go away. It'll go away just like that because the people that are invaded, they're being used too. A lot of people.
Oh yeah, no, they're bioweapons.
Yeah.
Like the Arabs
Yeah.
that I jump in the fence and like barging into my country, bioweapons.
Yes. And
They're like the tool of someone else.
yes. And they
Leftists always
exactly.
weaponize minorities.
Right, and they think that they're going to have a better life here, but they won't. They'll have a worse life And then when they try to go home, they won't be able to go home because nobody will pay for their plane ticket or their boat ticket or their bus ticket to go home. They only pay for them to come here. And a lot of them don't want to be here anymore. Shout out to Spirit in the chat. Good to see you, Spirit. Hope you're doing well. We got a new Ko-fi. I don't know why my Ko-fi widget's broken. Now I got to go and I'm excited about this Ko-fi, so I got to bring it up. But no, you're completely right. Let me just I'm gonna be typing for just a second. Let me pull this up. Mike Hunt, he pulled a Ko-fi, so let me rip that over here and show it off real quick. But Mike says, I don't even really care if my nation was being flooded by people with giant IQs. I still want to preserve my people, their
Yes,
culture, and their
I agree.
customs. I completely agree
I
with
agree.
that.
Like I'd rather be my own stupid self than be replaced by someone's mind. I don't care. I want the Basque country to be the Basque country. I want Spain to be Spain.
Right,
I
right,
want
right.
every country to retain, even if I'm retarded, even if I'm one of those like supposedly really stupid Eastern European countries, I would still want to be them.
Yes. No,
It's like this movie, The End of the World, the last of the Cornetto trilogy by these British guys, Simon Pegg, and you know the one I'm
I
talking
think I
about.
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
As I this like this endings is it's about like these guys who go back to their childhood town in like rural England, and it's been overtaken by aliens.
Yeah.
And the aliens just want to, it's like an invasion of body snatchers type thing. And the aliens just want to make things more efficient
Yeah.
and people happier.
Yeah.
And but
Yes.
they replace you with like cyborgs, with like humanoid robots.
Yeah.
And the end scene is like the humans saying, we don't want you come over here and make us better. We want to be ourselves,
Yeah.
even if we're flawed.
Yes.
And that's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think that what's going on is a big shift and an attempt to control the power because they see what's coming in the future. And I think what's coming in the future is a shift in the economic philosophy of the world, especially when it's joined with AI. When they talk all the time about the reserve currency of the U.S. dollar has exceeded its lifespan. It's basically valueless. So there needs to be a shift. And frankly, America and a lot of these Western powers have lived on the slavery of other countries, and that's true. When we opened up China in the 70s with who was it? Nixon opened up China, and they created in China these economic zones that were basically capitalistic bubbles where you could have a
Yes.
factory. The people there worked for pennies on the dollar, and slowly their wages have been increasing ever since the 70s up until now, to the point where the wages got too high. So now they shut them down. And I don't know if you're familiar, but Foxconn, which makes the iPhone, they had huge factories in China. They recently pulled out completely of China, and now they're in India. They moved all of their factories to India so they could again restart that cycle of the low wages, living off of the oppressed wages
so
of
they can
people
hire people who will work for peanuts
for
because
nothing. Right, for nothing.
because the Chinese have become too savvy and they want better conditions.
Yeah, well, yes, and of course, as you know, you're exposed once you have a factory system inside of your country, the middle class develops. As the middle class develops, their children then have the opportunity to grow higher and higher, and that pushes the wage up. And so, at a specific point in time or a tipping point, the company's not going to have those huge margins anymore, and they continually have to have those huge margins because of the way that they've structured their debt leverage. But it's a whole big thing. But that's it's sad because it destroys the middle class inside of that country that left. Like we have a whole bunch of cities in the South that you were down in the South that used to have a factory, and the whole city was built around the factory. Once they pulled that factory out, the city died. And that happened
No,
all over America.
I live in a similar city because I live in a steel mill city.
Okay, yeah.
Portugalete is a steel mill city.
Yeah.
And it used to be like really big in the 70s because
Yes.
people would come from like all over Spain to work here. And then the steel mill, it didn't close, but it got shrunk.
Yeah.
And the government intervened, of course, and like the town then became like a leisure town, just bars.
Yeah.
Bars and whorehouses.
And then once Skull whorehouses.
We got a couple of really popular whorehouses like all over the eastern seaboard, like
Yeah.
the northern seaboard, sorry. Something I'm saying. But like once that generation grew up and didn't want to go clubbing anymore, they got kids, like the town died.
Yeah.
And I live basically in like a semi ghost town that still has like a high population density.
Yeah.
Just not really anything to do here. Like maybe you can work at a bar, like,
Yeah, yeah, it's become financialized, and that's kind of the
yes.
evolution of economies. They go through an industrial revolution, then they have a manufacturing lifespan. That manufacturing lifespan then turns into a financial or an economic or a debt based, where they trade debt instead of actual product. And then if you remember back in the 80s and the 90s, they cut up a lot of the factories and they shipped pieces of the factory to China or to the
Mhm.
Philippines or to, right now Vietnam's the hot spot and of course India is also the hot spot. I don't know how they're going to make it work in India though. That place is fucking crazy. But then they take it and they in the town dies and it's very very sad and you're asking the question like why does it have to be this way? The other question is I thought AI was going to make things better, and AI has actually made products worse. Have you seen the same thing in your country? Do you have better products now, or are the products cheaper? Do they break more? Do they come apart?
They're definitely not cheaper. And yeah, you want something specialized, you probably have to go to a Chinese bazaar,
Yeah,
because it's easier to find stuff at a Chinese bazaar than at a hardware store or like yeah, there's barely any specialized stores of anything.
yeah,
If you want tools, you want like bolts, you want a saw, you want a sledgehammer, you go to a Chinese bazaar. That's where you get stuff.
yeah,
And it lasts what it lasts.
yeah. No, you're
It will
100% right.
eventually break. It's
You're 100% right. And I
so
gotta,
that's how it is. Like we're basically subsidizing the Chinese Communist Party.
yeah, well, it's the truth. And I have a bigger point, but I got a Ko-Fi real quick from Mike. Shout out to Mike Hunt, bro. We got you, bro. Let me pull this up. Even though my little my widget's broken, he says culture is like paint. If you mix two colors, you get a new beautiful color. Add another, you get even more diversity of color. Mix all the colors together, and you are left with no diversity, and there is no reversing it. I completely agree with that. And I think the potency of the color, like Ibai was saying earlier, is what we should maintain. I remember Ibai, there was such a big thing in America. Maybe it was the same way in Spain where everybody's like, oh my God, we have to maintain the indigenous people, which were the Native Americans, the Indians here, right? Now you look at a place like Ireland or UK and England, I guess they don't care about indigenous people when they turn out to be Aryan or I guess white is what it is, Aryan. You one of the root races, they don't give a fuck about that, do they? And that's very disappointing. Mike Hunt in the chat, he says, melting pot, what kind of dish is every ingredient? That's gross. You're 100% right, Mike. 100, I couldn't agree with you more. And also, too many cooks in the kitchen, right? You need one vision, not a whole, cook by council or cook by committee. You need one vision in order to make a fantastic food.
When everything is equally diverse, everything looks the same.
Yeah.
Which is what happens with European cities right now. You go to Stockholm and it's the same as Brussels, which is the same as Berlin, which is the same as Athens.
Yeah.
Every big city in Europe looks the same. It's all mosques and Starbucks.
Yeah.
That's all there is.
Yeah.
Everywhere smells the same and looks the same.
No, you're 100% right. And it's happening more and more and more. Mike Hunt in chat, he says, I visit Canada, I get Indian culture. If I visit the UK, I get Indian culture. If I wanted to go to India, I just visit Australia. And that, bro, you summarized it perfectly. And I think the whole Indian revolution is based upon, I remember like, okay, let me step back. I went to college, right? I was an engineer. Okay. We had a lot of Indians that were international students in our engineering schools. I remember that. Okay. Now, flash forward, that was about 15 years ago or something like that. Flash forward to today, you see that there's a lot of Indian immigration. They all say H-1B visas. They all say they're the doctors, they're the architects, they're the engineers, and they're not. They're just people that are coming over here. They're working as baristas. They're setting up their own restaurants, as a matter of fact, so they can get more people to come in, so that they can then secure the voting rights in their council, in their local area. And then all they do is hire their own people, and they create this enclave now, this bubble of Indian culture. And Indian culture is not that great, bro. I don't want to get sick food poisoning, or if I wanted curry, I'd go to Thai curry. I don't want Indian curry, bro. What are your thoughts on that, Ibai? Have you seen that happen in your neck of the world?
I don't want to have my heart ripped out for Cali. That shit sucks.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind I haven't experienced it, but I guess I wouldn't mind Indian culture. I just want to have my own.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I just want to have my own corner of the world with my culture, my language, and my people. It's I don't need to conquer it like we used to do 500 years ago. I'm cool with having like my tiny spot in the northern mountains.
Yeah,
But even there, like, yeah, you mentioned the American natives. We used to be the natives,
that's
even
right.
though the Basques are an indigenous to the region, but that's another story. We used to be the natives. We used to be like the endangered people,
Yeah.
and being part of the endangered people justified everything, even violence. And
Yes.
now
Yes.
our own indigenous people, our own Aboriginal people, are trying to replace us with black people
Yes.
and with Africans, and we have videos, government sponsored and filmed videos of the old Encero or like our own pagan Santa Claus played by a black guy,
Yeah. Yeah.
and half of our I don't know half I don't know because I don't follow soccer, but like a great percentage of the Atleti de Bilbao or football team is composed of like black and Arab people,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we used to be proud of the Atleti being composed of exclusively people born in Euskadi,
Yeah.
Basque people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That
know,
that's all out the window now. The crazy thing
it's
is,
all out the window. There's already like because when these like small weaponized collectives, which are the indigenous, which are like the BLM, but whatever. In our case, the Basques are the weaponized minorities, the weaponized
okay.
group. Once they're done destroying the bigger country and diversifying it, they're gonna diversify themselves.
Yes.
They're never gonna stop.
No, no, they're not.
They're
And
going to say, okay, now we destroy Spain. Spain has been vanquished. Now it's time for us to change. We need to welcome every fucking African in the country, and we need to sidestep Euskera or language to learn Wolof and Urdu and Swahili and what the
yeah.
fuck not,
Yeah.
because we need to be more inclusive. In a couple of generations, Euskadi is going to be destroyed after Spain has been destroyed because that's what they do.
Yeah.
They're a weapon of destruction.
No, you're 100% right. And they need that victimization card so they can be totalitarian in their government practices. We see that clearly, and it's just if they continue to bust it out, bust it out, bust it out to the next victim, to the next victim, to the next victim, they eat themselves. And even in communism, communism says even the useful idiots get the bullet too. So
Of
even
course.
when the revolution is done, right, when they're happy with how they've transformed the society, they don't want any more revolution. They lock it down by removing those radical agents from the equation through violence, through death, through whatever. That's going to happen. What about right now, Ibai? Spain is on fire. We see it. Spain on fire. We see France is on fire, and we see it's a result possibly of the fact that they just passed the big laws about data centers, how they're going to put data centers everywhere. And the way that they did it over here in America is they started fires. Oh, look, we had a big fire. Well, let's build a data center there now. How convenient. What are your thoughts on that? Is that happening over there in Spain?
Yes, actually, it has been happening around here. We have a bunch of cases of global warming or climate change, which is actually an Arab guy with a can of gasoline,
Yes,
that the cops
yes,
arrested
yes.
for some reason.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, that's been happening as well.
yeah,
And it happens basically every year, actually.
yeah.
Used to be because they wanted to like requalify. I don't know if that's how you call it in English, but like there's like terrain types in Spain, and in some terrains you're not supposed to build anything. In
Okay.
Spain is big into like building stuff.
Yeah,
Like there's a lot of construction companies that act basically like mafias
yeah,
that like contracts with the government. Like Spain is crazy because you will see skyscrapers everywhere and they're all empty.
yeah,
They all ruin the sites. Like the coast is full of skyscrapers
yeah,
that won't let you see shit,
yeah,
and they're all empty because
yeah.
the business is in building them, not finding people who will inhabit them. So in order to build stuff, the terrain needs to be qualified as buildable
Oh,
terrain,
okay.
and that shit doesn't happen. For example, if it's like it's a forest or a national
Right,
preserve or whatever.
right. But if
But
it
if
burns,
if it burns
yeah,
by like a cosmic coincidence,
yeah,
well, might as well build on it.
yeah. We got Nacho in the chat. He says the same thing. He says shrines in Japan keep catching fire. Yeah, we're seeing fires all over the place being utilized. And funny enough, it's churches, it's shrines in Japan, but it's never a mosque, is it? That's very interesting. We never
What are the odds?
even see a mosque. Forest Mommy says, yeah, it gets rezoned. The land gets rezoned after it being burned,
So,
and then it gets turned into commercial where they can build. CISO SoCal says Spokane, Washington just had huge fires. The governor said it was climate change. They just arrested the guy who was freed after killing his own father. Yeah, they set fires over there. They claim it's climate change. It's not. It could even be directed energy weapons because we see all these kind of crazy stuff happen over in America where, you know,
I'm ready to believe anything. I mean, didn't the Chinese admit recently that yes, they have indeed so in the clouds,
yeah,
like doing geoengineering, like basically chemtrails,
yes,
which
yes,
were supposed to be like a right-wing conspiracy, and the Chinese have admitted, yeah, no, we
yeah,
actually do that.
yeah,
We
trying,
seed the clouds with gas,
oh,
with
yeah.
like with particles.
Well, with silver nitrate, yeah, the Chinese do it. There's a company in the Middle East that guarantees rainfall. They have companies here that do it that are associated with the land management in every state. It is, you know, there are also, you know, they have these patents on the process going far, far back for many, many years. All even sometimes even in the 1800s. They had Operation Typhoon that was in Vietnam, where the U.S. military extended the rainy season in Vietnam in order to control the experiment of the weather and control what's going on. So they definitely have that. I even theorize that, or I postulate that Doppler radar is how they steer these massive storms through America. They probably have Doppler radar all over Europe too. But there is not a place that you can't go in America that Doppler radar doesn't. There isn't a Doppler radar bubble that they can't control the weather. What are your thoughts on that, Ibai? I'm sure you've seen that also in Europe.
Yeah, I'm ready to believe anything. Like a couple of years ago, I don't know if it was like just last year or the year before that, we have the Dana, which is like one of the biggest climatic catastrophes we ever had.
Yeah,
Like which a big portion of Valencia got flooded.
yeah,
But it was really weird because uh the official version is that the river overflew,
yeah,
you know, and it got flooded. And but like that's not how it works, because if you see the videos, you will see a tsunami.
yeah,
Basically, a tsunami go through the streets and like drag everything along with it. And like
yeah.
I actually had friends in the area, and they told me like, "Wow, like I lost contact with my daughter, and we were really scared. And luckily, she survived because she climbed to the top of a local mall,
Whoa, whoa,
and she was hanging at the rooftop of a local mall with
yeah.
with a boyfriend.
Well,
So like it was really sudden. That's
yeah.
not how floods
No,
work.
that's not how floods work. And also, you mentioned China. China's been having severe flooding in the last 2 or 3 years.
Mhm.
Every year, I get videos from people I still know over there. They tell me it's horrible. They tell me like whole individual cities get flooded that have never flooded before. Then I see videos on YouTube. So they're completely doing that. They're doing cloud seeding in China. It's wild. It's to the point where it's hard to ignore anymore. And also, you see all of these jets up in the air, leaving these big chemtrails. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, that's conspiracy theory." Well, it's not, bro. It's not conspiracy theory. How
They
many?
already admitted to doing it.
Yeah, they admitted to doing it. They admitted it. They admitted it. Yeah, completely. They admitted it.
Hey,
Hey, buddy, they admitted it. Spirit in the chat says China is falling apart. 100%. China is completely falling apart. There's a lot of all the companies are leaving China. China now is like basically all they can do is assemble things. You know what I mean? Like Japan has taken all of their machines for in the industry, all of their high tech milling machines or all these different processes to make different machines and different products. They've taken them out of China. China cannot make first gen silicone wafers. That only comes from Taiwan, Japan, or America. So, China is not the big boogeyman that everybody says, oh my God, China, blah, blah, blah. China, I think, is another CIA, manipulated country in the same way that the North Korea is, bro. I think it's the same kind of thing. And they manipulate this stuff to get the American people to agree to give, oh, we better, did you hear about this? They want to merge American military and the Israeli military.
I
Did you
heard
hear
about
about that? That's fucking crazy. What the hell,
How,
bro?
how does that even work?
Yeah.
Like they're two separate countries. How do you do that?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. But we used to send billions to Israel. Now we're going to give them access to the $1.8 trillion credit card of the American military. That doesn't make any sense at all. And he says,
Mel Gibson. That's all I'm saying. Mel Gibson.
yeah, yeah, Mel Gibson, he knows what he's talking about. Seashell SoCal said it passed in it. Yeah, it passed through the Senate. I don't know if it still has to pass through the House, the Congress, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, but that's not a good thing. That's not a good look. The whole world is going to hate America if this happens. Like, what do people in Spain think of America, Ibai? What do they look at America? Do they think we're big bad guys? We're bullies? Like, what do they think?
Well, leftists do. Leftists hate America because that's actually not recently. I went to a secondhand bookstore that is apparently permanently closed now. I don't know what the fuck is going on there, but I used to just nearby.
Yeah.
And I struck a casual conversation with the owner, who's like this small guy with a beard, like thick black rimmed glasses, and a lot of Palestinian flags and LGBT flags, whatever. Actually, it was my mom because he was wearing a Harley Davidson jacket. And my mom said, being my mom, "Oh, we have a jacket like that. We bought it at the Museum of Harley Davidson in Wisconsin." And the guy was like, "I don't like Americans." Really? Yeah, no, they're like religious fanatics and bullies. And he told us that he'd been to this town in Colorado. I think he said the name was Junction.
Uh huh.
And he said that he didn't really enjoy the experience because the Americans were like really religious and intolerant. And they would always go after the odd one out, the weird guy in town. Like, yeah,
What?
I remember saying, whatever, bro. That's not my experience at all.
Yeah, no, no,
At all.
no, no. In fact, in churches, like they support the minorities, bro. You know, I'd go to church more if they didn't. You know what I'm saying? But pretty soon the white people or the light skinned people, however you want to say it, because now when people get arrested here in America now, Ibai, even if they're black or they're Mexican, they classify them as white in order to skew the statistics.
I saw that. I
Yeah,
saw that.
it's crazy. It's like nothing even real. Force Mommy, she lives in Colorado. She says Grand Junction, maybe that's like a meth town now. So yeah, she said it's a little bit dangerous down there. But no, that's funny. Think about this because you think about Europe. Europe basically none of them have militaries. They all rely upon NATO, which is supplied
Yes.
by America. Which I mean, I don't think we should be doing that. I think they should each have their own military. But hey,
I
whatever,
agree on that.
whatever. Right now, though, how can they hate America when they rely upon America for their own defense? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of
No,
crazy.
not only that, America is where our culture stems from.
Yes.
Like everybody wants to be an American.
Yeah.
When you make a movie in Spain, you talk like I went to film school. I went to art school,
Yeah.
specifically film school for a couple of years. Nobody said I want to make movies like I don't know,
Indonesia. Yeah.
yeah, they all want to make movies like America. They don't want to make movies like Spain.
Yeah.
Nobody said I want to make a fucking movie like both those Franco guys, like Jose Maria Forqué. I want to make movies like Tarantino. I want to make movies like David Lynch. I want to make movies like David Cronenberg. He's Canadian, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's more of an American filmmaker. Everybody wants to make stuff like in America. Everybody wants to make superhero comics, even in Spain.
Yeah.
Spaniards want to make their own superheroes. Like America is like the model for the world.
Yeah. Yeah. We definitely
No, they-
exported
but
pop
no.
culture. Yeah. I could see that.
Yes.
And
And that's America's biggest strength. I think it was Joe Rogan who called it a cultural machine,
yeah.
the biggest cultural machine ever. That's America's greatest import. It's culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like even if they don't realize, they want to be American. They want the American dream.
Yeah, I mean, you see kids in Africa who wear, the shirts of the people who didn't win the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? When we make all the shirts, we make equal amounts for whoever's going to win the Super Bowl. The people who don't win, we send all those shirts down to Africa. You give them away for free, and all the kids wear them down there. But no, you're right. American culture is a huge export, and I don't know. I think that's probably, not great for the countries that are importing the culture because they then lose their own flavor of their own culture, which is dangerous too. And that's why like when I go to Spain, I want to go like you said, I want to go to Spain. I want to have paella. I don't want to talk to a guy in a Harley Davidson motorcycle jacket, bro. I want to talk to some guy who was a bullfighter. I want to talk to some guy who was did other things that you do in Spain. Or if I go to Japan, I don't want to talk to a guy who wants to talk to me about American culture. I want to talk about Japanese
I
culture. I want
agree.
to talk about
I
like
agree.
what's going on with the samurai, the yakuza, or whatever. What the hell's going on? I want to talk about the Datsun, the Z28. I want to talk about
Mm.
these racing cars, and I want to talk about the the different food, the sushi, the ramen, the udon
Because otherwise,
noodles.
what's
Yeah,
the point? Like Spaniards will do that a lot. Spaniards will like go visit other countries, but will do so surrounded by their friends, their cuadrillas. In the
yeah,
case of Spanish,
yeah,
like my uncle.
yeah,
My uncle doesn't go anywhere if it's not like in the company of his cuadrilla.
yeah.
And they will go. Most of Spaniards will go somewhere else, like on abroad, and they will try to find the closest tapas bar
Okay.
and ask for a Spanish tortilla.
Uh huh.
Basically as if they never left.
Yeah.
So then, what's the point?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Might
Yeah.
as well just stay home.
Yeah, yeah. And for people who don't know, a quadrilla, you gotta roll that R a little bit. It
Roll
is
the R.
is a friend group in Spain, and they're usually formed through childhood, and they stay at that friend group for the rest of their life. So it's very hard to make new friends in Spain because you got to penetrate this friend group, and if you're not in the friend group, then you don't get in the friend group, and the older the friend group gets, the harder it is to penetrate that crew. As Pat says it in the chat, she says
You can you
it's a
can you
crew.
can join one by marriage. So like there's like
Oh, bro,
merging
that's
of friend
wild.
groups through marriage.
That's
Like it's like the
wild.
the Capulets and the Montagues.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. So
the
it's
two
kind of,
families.
it's like a mafia. That's crazy,
It's
bro.
like a mafia thing.
Yeah.
That's yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah. But we got Ibai here. He's part of our international crew, our international quadrilla, and so is everybody in chat, bro. We're trying to make international friends here. We want the experiences from everybody all across the world because I believe, and the Ibai believes the same way that as long as you have the same mentality about how you're family first, take care of your family, take care of the three generations. You want to have kids, you want to have grandkids, and you want the best for them. You want to retain their culture. Like I want Ibai to keep his Basque culture. I don't want him to come over here and get some Southern California culture. Even though Ibai, when you come, I'm gonna buy you flip flops. I'm gonna buy you some surfer shorts. You could take it back with you. But then when I go to his culture, I want him to take me out to the tavern. I want to go get a steak. I want to hit on some of the Basque women, even though they'll probably be mad because I'm not a big pussy. I'm gonna smack them on the ass. Maybe I'll get locked up a night. You'll have to bail me out, Ibai. That's just the way it goes. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you got going for you that foreign. You have blue eyes.
Yeah,
Blue eyes are really
I got
popular
the
among local chicks.
Yeah, I got the
You got
blue
that going
eyes.
for you.
Yeah, I got that going. And if we go down and visit Joe Schmo down in Australia, or we go visit, James over there in England, we want to do the same thing. Like if we go to visit James out there in England, I want to go to the gypsies and I want to have a beer with the gypsies. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I wanna have fish and chips and watch a gypsy boxing match,
Yeah, I want to
like
watch.
bare knuckle gypsy boxing.
That's right. I want to watch a bare knuckle gypsy boxing match while we have fish and chips. That's the way to do it. So we want to retain these cultures. We want to pass them down to our children. We don't want to become some kind of strange monolith, like Mike said earlier, where all the paints kind of mix together, and it's like you can't even.
So it's all Starbucks and mosques and Starbucks everywhere,
Right.
all the time.
Well, and that's the other thing too is what about the women, Ibai? Don't they? I mean, like, because in Spain, you got the bikini, you got you have the G-string, you have the Brazilian, you have. Do all these women want to wear a burqa? Like, what are they thinking over there?
That's that's the big question. We have like the most rabid strain of feminism, second only to probably Argentina or Mexico, because
Yeah,
they're pretty fucking vicious down there.
yeah,
The Basque feminists, the Spanish feminists are like pretty fucking virulent.
yeah,
And I remember clearly, like when I first became red pilled, that was like the early 2010s. I
yeah,
became like a raging anti-feminist. And I remember the feminists were big on like feminism is necessary because in some part of the world, like Muslim countries, women can't vote and they don't have rights and they can't drive. So it was like really big
yes,
among feminism. Like anti-Muslim sentiment was really big.
yeah,
And then I don't know what happened. They got like the software update, I guess, like patch feminism 3.0 or whatever the fuck it is.
yeah,
And now they love Islam. They think Muhammad was the biggest feminist, the
yeah.
first one.
No, well, and that's crazy, and that's what's insane. I don't understand how they're like embracing this. We got a Ko-Fi
Fucking
from
programmable androids.
yeah from Mike. Shout out to Mike in the chat. He says, let me pull this up real quick. He says, all crime in Alice Springs was reported as youth crime, which means Aboriginals, because the issues were never addressed. The town is now the most crime per capita in Australia, 38,000 offenses per 100,000 people. It took about 30 years. Wow, bro. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Mike, let me know. Do you watch Spanion? I heard Spanion's like huge down there. I watch a little bit of Spanion up here as he goes. He just went to Gilgal, or when he was going up to, and he also went to. I watched him go to the pub in the Scrub out there in the Outback. I think it was 7 hours outside of Sydney. Let me know about that. We also have Mike. Mike says, buy some of them silly billies from other cultures. Silly billies. I love that term, silly billy. Yeah, that comes from Sam Hyde. Silly billies from other cultures can't help but ruin it. 100% right. And, they ruin it because they want to broker power. And as soon as they can broker that power, Ibai, that's how they make their fortunes. They make their fortunes in breaking the backs of companies, breaking the backs of cultures. What are your thoughts on that?
Uh, I think that going back to something that you said earlier, they want stupid people. The government, the establishment has always wanted stupid people. And there's two ways you can achieve that. You can stupefy them through education and trash media,
Yeah,
or you can import stupid people from Africa, because as we said, there's not a single country in Africa that surpasses Europe in IQ. They're all dumber than us.
yeah,
And you can like import them here wholesale and lower the average
yeah,
and mingle, because I mean, we've all experienced it. When you argue with a retard, you don't become smart. He doesn't become smart. You become dumber,
yeah,
because
yeah,
you have to dumb down your rhetoric and you let yourself get carried away. So you become kind of a retard. Like, stupidity is contagious.
yeah.
Intelligence isn't.
No, you're 100% right. We got Joe Schmo in the chat. He says feminism has always been subversive. And I want you guys to think about
Yes.
this. Completely agree with you, Joe Schmo. I want you guys to think about this. The evolution of society, when society builds, it requires a masculine influence to bring something into focus, to bring something into harmony so it has proper resonance. If you remove the masculine influence, then it decays and it falls out of focus, it falls out of harmony, it falls out of resonance. And so it's far more malleable, okay? So if we remove the masculinity from society, then that focal point, because a man's desire, like I don't know why so many people are afraid of masculinity. A man's desire is to make things better for his wife and for his children. A wife and children are going to be taken care of by masculinity. Instead, they've sold out to the government so that the government can pay them so that they can run around rebellious. I know in the Bible, and of course I know a lot about the Bible, read the Bible many times. It says witchcraft is the same as rebellion. Rebellion is as witchcraft. And so witchcraft in this context is feminism. Is that concept or that philosophy of feminism that breaks the family, and the family is the corner of the structure of society. It breaks the family, and then it becomes out of order. It becomes chaos. And then that reverberates like a wave throughout society, throughout every block of family, and all the blocks form society, and all of society falls out of resonance. It falls out of order so that the people at the top can then scoop out. They can take your wealth from you. Every generation, they could take your wealth from you and leave you sitting in a patch of dirt in your own filth. And I don't mean that like, I mean it metaphorically. In your own mindset, your own philosophy, you sat in an uncouth, unrefined mindset where you feel yourself with only the desires of that moment instead of thinking about the desires over 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, even generationally. A man who is refined in his mind thinks generationally. He thinks about the impact of his choices for his children and for his grandchildren. And that, as a society, as a family, as men, is where we need to be so that we can take care of our women and give our women what they deserve, give them their happiness, which is a family full of children or a full life. We want to give them a full life so that they can continue to be happy. And when women are happy, they light men's hearts up, and the men get the chance to be happy. And that's kind of how I see it. What are your thoughts on that, Ibai?
I agree. I agree that society needs a balance of masculinity and femininity, because we're complementary. We're
Yes.
not, as they say, the opposite sex. We're not opposite. We're complementary, like an outlet and a plug, so to speak. And we fit together. And I think society needs a healthy balance of masculine and feminine energies. And it's been decades since they started demonizing masculinity.
Yeah.
As you
No.
said before, for example, one of the biggest lies they told us is violence is never the answer.
Right. Exactly. It's always the answer. It's
That's
always the answer.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Violence is the ultimate answer. That's
Right.
how they. Again, I go back to like that scene in the Starship Troopers with Michael Ironside. He explains that's 100% truth.
Yeah.
Government is force.
Yeah.
Force is violence. They govern you no matter what type of government, be it a constitutional government or a monarchy or a tyranny or whatever. It's done through force.
Yeah.
Violence is the ultimate
Yeah.
authority.
Yeah.
And if you are unable to exert violence, then you don't own anything
Yeah.
that you can't defend through violence.
Right. No, I completely agree with you. And going a little bit further, even say the threat of violence is the ultimate force.
Yes.
And that has been what has been taking from the masculine men in society. We can no longer defend our families. We can't defend our private property. If we have a store and people come in and steal, we're supposed to call the police. And the police say, oh, I'm not going to come out unless it's over $1,000. And I can't come out for another hour. So the people get away. And then they say, oh, you have to file, this with the court. So nothing gets resolved. But if we were to restore the threat of violence to every man, if I told you that every man could have a shotgun in his store and whoever steals, they can be shot legally, nobody would steal again. It would be over like that. In an instant, it would be over. But they want this to happen. They want the people to be declawed. They want men to be defanged, and they want women to rise to power so that the women can then debase society through their choices. Because when absolute power comes through women, then absolute corruption also appears. And it could appear with men as well. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. But what we have here, we don't have a patriarchy.
There's a particular maybe easier way in which you can manipulate women. Because how do I put this without sounding too offensive? Women can be
you can be offensive. It's okay, Ibai. We love you.
I can be offensive. I don't want to insult any of the ladies, but like women are more than men. Women are like dogs chasing cars to go the Joker.
Yeah. Okay.
If something is loud and bright and flashy enough, they will go after it.
Yeah.
And then the next flashy thing appears and they go after it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's easy to distract them, jangling keys.
Yeah.
You jangle keys in front of them, like, hey, our kids don't have any future. They spend like 6 years in med school, and now they have to emigrate to work as bartenders in Singapore.
Yeah.
Well, here's a picture of a crying Palestinian kid. Oh, poor crying Palestinian. Fuck my kids. Fuck having a future. They immediately they forget about it.
Yeah.
That's why they like, social media belongs to women.
Yeah, it
they
does.
Get like immediately affected by Reels and TikTok and whatnot. I see that with my mom. Like my mom's like, oh, I have to reply to some emails, and like half an hour goes by, and I'm like, did you already reply to your emails? Oh no, I got distracted with fucking Reels on Instagram. Yeah,
no, you're 100% right. And I will say this: that men and women are supposed to work as a team together. And what happens when they do that is they cover each other's weaknesses, right? And so,
Yes.
And also saying that women should make these choices and rise to accountability is like trying to make a race car, haul rocks. A race car was
Yes.
not designed to haul rocks. And this is the way I get around being offensive, right? Because women were designed for one thing and men were designed for another thing, okay?
That's a great way of putting it.
Yeah, men are the dump truck. We're not like pretty, we're rough around the edges. But the more we're like that, the more masculine we are, the more women are attracted to us, right? So we haul the rocks, right? And women are like the nice fancy sports car, okay? They're not supposed to haul rock. Would you have a Ferrari and you shovel gravel in the Ferrari to haul it somewhere?
Yeah, you don't use a Ferrari to plow your orchard.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
not what it's used for.
Right. It's not used for that. And so women are designed for one thing, which is imprinting society onto the next generation. That's what women are designed. They're hyper emotional, and which they're supposed to be. That's not a flaw. It's a bonus. That's a feature. They're supposed to be that way. And men are supposed to be very stoic. We're supposed to be we make logical decisions. And
yeah. I remember when I was a kid, and I would have a certain type of problem. I would ask my mom. And when I would have another certain type of problem, I would ask my dad.
Yeah.
Because I would understand that this is a thing that my mom knows more about.
Yes.
Because she's a woman.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that my dad knows more about because he's a man.
Right.
If I only have one source of answers to my problems,
Yeah.
I would probably be much more lost than I am right now in life. I'm just
No,
saying.
you're not lost, bro. No, you're saying
Yeah,
something 100.
yeah.
I'll give you an example. It's a fantastic example. Is if you're a kid and like you're in school and you get bullied by another guy, right? The worst person to ask how to handle the bully is your mom. Okay, because
Mhm.
now guess what? Your mom's gonna get on the phone. She's gonna call the teacher. She's gonna call the school. She's gonna make a big thing, and now the bully knows that he's very successful. So what's the bully
Yes.
gonna do? The bully's gonna bully you more. Okay. You go talk to your dad, different situation. Your dad looks you in the eye and says, "Listen, you might get hit in the face, but the thing you have to do, if this bully comes to you, hit him in the face. Punch the bully in the face and it will end it. Okay? It'll be over with because the bully will move on and pick on somebody else." And the mom will say, "No, oh my God, don't do that."
Violence is never the
The
answer.
father knows that the solution to that, the society in that little high school social group is to stand up and punch the bully so the bully backs off. That is the answer. That's how you have to do it. And that's the difference between the male way to resolve a problem and the female way to resolve the problem. Of course, there's other problems that you should go to your mother with, and the mother will, she'll resolve the problem. Like, say, "Hey, mom, I got this girl. I like her. What should I do? What do we do?" Maybe you talk to your mom. I don't know. But maybe you talk to your dad. He's the one that got the woman in the first place. He goes, "Okay, don't listen to your mother. This is
That's a
what
good point.
you go up here."
But yeah, I don't remember. I can't remember any specific examples because for some reason I think I have repressed most of my childhood
Yeah, yeah,
since
yeah.
I grew up here.
Very
I don't want
traumatized.
to
Yeah,
remember any of it.
yeah,
But I remember I would like there's like things that my dad knew about and things that my mom knew about
yeah,
life.
yeah,
And I was like, yeah, I think this particular subject, my dad will handle better. This particular subject, my mom will handle better.
yeah.
Because they're not the same. They're complementary. They're
Right.
supposed to work together.
Yeah. Yeah, you're 100% right. Another analogy that I use and with art is I say men are the black lines on the paper and women are the color that goes inside the lines. You know what I'm saying? And so together they make a fantastic image. But, without the lines, the color goes everywhere. Without the color, the lines are only black and white. It doesn't have as much soul. It's not as enjoyable. Men construct life and women make life worth living. That's another way that I put it. And,
But
yeah, we have to consider that. But you have the government. The government's the third person in that equation. A lot of people think it's only men and women. No, there's one more. There's the government, and the government could turn it into a pimp situation where the government's the pimp, the woman is the prostitute, and the man now becomes the trick. He becomes the simp. And that is how you destroy society right there. And that's where we're going. And they want to lie and say, "No, it's feminism. Women need more rules. Women need more this. Women need more." No, women have turned into prostitutes. It is now the era of the prostitute. And that's what you have to pay attention to. Will the women abandon men in order to go with their pimp, who is the state? And they will ultimately be done wrong by the state. This is what women don't understand. Ultimately, women will be betrayed by the state.
it's a Faustian
It
situation.
is very much so.
Don't you ladies see they're clearly deceiving you? This is a Mephistophelian pact. You're gonna end up in hell.
Yeah, yeah,
Learn from history. Wisen up, ladies.
yeah, yeah. And the other thing too is think about your children. Will somebody think about the children? That's what women always say. But women, generally, there's a lot of kids now who can't even read over here, Ibai. They're graduating high school and they can't even fucking
Same
read.
here. Same here.
And we
Same
getting
here.
all these fun TikToks now of people going to people in high school say, "Read this, read that," and they can't even say the words anymore. And they say, "Oh well, we don't need to because now we have AI." AI will become their prison. That's what's going to happen. It's going to become their prison. They're all going to be like James in the chat. James, South London. James, he grew up in like a city-funded, living situation where they have these big, big skyscrapers that have thousands of people that live in these apartments, and they all live together, and they're all paid for by the government. I don't know what you call that in Spain, but
Yeah, we call that VPS, Viviendas de Protección Social, basically social protection habitats or
okay,
like domicile or something.
yeah.
Yeah, we have that.
Yeah, we
We have
call
those.
that like projects or public housing or the ghetto here. And a lot of people, like we had huge ones, like Cabrini Green was a very famous one in Chicago. It's been torn down since then, but it's been in a lot of rap in the early '90s. Everybody rapped about
Oh, it was in
Cabrini.
Candyman.
Yeah,
It was
it
the
was in
second of Candyman.
it was in Candyman. Like Joe Schmo calls it Section 8. And I've been watching Spanion from Australia. He grew up in a lot of those kind of ghetto, those Section 8 houses and stuff like that. But they're terrible. But that's where the government wants people, because the government can control you, because they can turn off your food. We call them food stamps here in America, where they give you money to go buy food. We call it EBT. They could cut that off. So you better get back in compliance, and they'll turn it back on, or they'll kick you out of the housing projects and you'll be homeless. But if you behave, they'll let you back in, And a lot of women here in America, they have more and more children so they can get more and more money. That's what they want, more and more money. And they don't even have men. If they have men around, they get less money. So
the government has become the husband.
Yeah, the pimp. It's become the pimp, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's the whole pimp thing. We got another Ko-Fi from Mike. Shout out to Mike, bro. You're carrying this channel today. We love you, Mike. Shout out to you, bro. Let me pull up this Ko-Fi real quick. He says, for 38 years, I was accommodating to new Australians, always polite, respecting their customs, but it was never reciprocated. Often I am met with, you colonizers don't have culture, being said in English. My ancestors came here in chains, not in planes, but and built this paradise. Well said. I couldn't agree more. Let me give you another round of applause for that one. I couldn't agree more, bro. And the new people in Australia, correct me if I'm wrong, they're a bunch of Chinese people. They're a bunch of Indians. I know that there are probably Fijians and different people from around the Pacific Islanders, but they're mostly Indians and Chinese, which is crazy. Moneybags Mike, they call me. Well, Moneybags Mike, we love you around here. Yeah, so shout out to you, bro. I appreciate that. And I love to hear what's going on in Australia. So please keep me posted on that. Like I said, I follow Spanion quite a bit, and I try to keep my understanding of what's going on in each different continent. Like that's why I was at Ibai. I want to know more about what's going on in Spain. And James, I want to know more about what's going on in UK. I have friends in China. I have friends in Japan. It's very important that we see that, because the government. And I think it's a centralized government, that like World Economic Forum type shit over all of the world.
It's definitely extra national, as some say.
Oh, it's a great point. It's a great way to put it. Extra national. It's a covert group of people that have their own quadrilla, as Ibai might put it, that really run the world. They call the shots for the different regions of the world, and they want to isolate each region from the other and say, "Oh no, it's them dirty Spaniards that are causing all the problem. Oh no, it's the dirty Americans." And we saw so many people that came to the World Cup in America that said, "Oh wow, they told me this about America. It's not like that. They told me America was that. Everybody has guns. They're all gonna come after you like Yosemite Sam." But it's not like that, bro. So
yeah, I haven't seen a single gun in my entire trip.
Yeah,
I saw nobody.
Yeah,
carrying guns.
Ibai, if you come out to California, so like we're gonna take you to shoot guns. Okay, we're gonna take you.
Yes, I wanna do that. That's one thing I've never done in the USA.
We're gonna take you to shoot all the guns. We're gonna get you the big dirty hairy gun. We're gonna get you like the Glock gun. We're gonna get you, if we go to Vegas, we'll shoot machine guns too.
Cool.
So. Mike Hunt in the chat says, plot twist, my name's not even Mike. Well, bro, that's all right, man. We still, you guys know my name, Ray. Ibai's name is still Ibai, but it's probably better you stay a little bit like, anomalous on the internet. You don't want people tracking you down, especially in Australia, bro. Australia is like some of the most craziest. What do they got? That e-safety board where they're like have all these kind of rules and regulations, and now you got to scan your eyeball to get on the internet. It's all kinds of crazy totalitarian stuff going on in Australia right now. Gets me all upset. Joe Schmo says, as you probably know, I represent the Rothschilds, Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, 100%. That's the quadrilla I'm talking about. They're an international, or extra national, like Ibai said. Group of people that are, shaping the world so that they can live the type of lifestyle they want. And they're crazy too. They don't want you on the beach when they're on the beach. That's how crazy they are. They feel like, Ibai doesn't deserve to come to Southern California and go on the beach because it's only a place for the elites, blah, blah, blah. That's a bunch of bullshit. But anyway, we're gonna get Ibai out here. We're gonna get James out here, and maybe some of the people in the chat. You get you guys to come out here to a Southern California a meetup. I think that would be a lot of fun to do. But hopefully we'll do that one day. Ibai, we talked about all kinds of shit. Is there anything else you want to close it out with? I don't want to keep you too long. We've already gone 2 hours. It flew by, bro. It flew by in a blink of an eye.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Well, we got into the feminist thing. I didn't think we were gonna. I didn't think we were gonna get into that. But there's nobody better to talk to feminism with than Ibai, bro. Ibai knows what's going on. He knows what's up, bro. And he also, you could fight and all that kind of stuff. And you see the feminists. You got to compare them to the women when you come to America and see the difference. And even in America, I think there's a lot of feminism. But then I'm reminded that when I go to the South, that women are nice. Out here in LA, they're a lot more closed off, and in San Francisco is even more closed off. I couldn't imagine like the uber liberal places, like even, I don't know, the different places in America, up in Washington, perhaps.
Yeah, the place where I live is basically like Spanish Portland, so go figure.
Yeah, Portland is another place that you gotta watch out for. Hillbilly Harry said a Southern California meetup would be great. Yeah, I want to do one here pretty soon for the locals, but I would also like to arrange a bigger one for the international guys, especially if we can't, that would be a lot of fun to do that. Mike Hunt says, Judge Dredd perfectly predicted the future. City blocks, credits instead of money. You gotta ask the question, where did Judge Dredd, when they wrote that movie, was it predictive programming? Where did they get the idea? Even the idea when they tried to do the technocracy back in the 30s, because they tried this once before. People, don't be dissuaded. They tried to do technocracy before computers were there, and they used punch cards to do it. It was just too overwhelming for them to handle the inputs and the outputs. Why did they try it all the way back then? I theorize that there is a hidden library of knowledge that these elites pass between themselves, and they know about the technology that already exists that they've gotten from other societies, other cultures that came far before us, and they want to use it to their own ends to shape their own type of reality. But that's for another stream. We could probably talk for another 2 hours about that.
Fascinating subject, by the way.
No, yeah, and we'll have to talk about that because I've got a whole bunch of proof that we can go over about past societies and past civilizations and other types of things that they found that are inventions that we can't even recreate now, bro. That are so precise. We can't even do it now. But we'll talk about that. It was a great 2 hours, Ibai. Is there anything else before we check out here that you want to drop on everybody? No?
Not really. I think we touched everything, like a Chinese woman during the COVID season.
And what
I just wanted to.
What are you working on next? Let's talk about that. Do you have any things in the projects coming up in the future that people should be aware of? We should be looking out for.
I think I mentioned the supernatural revenge thriller I'm working on as an artist. I just finished penciling the page. So a sneak peek.
Oh, a little sneak peek right there. Wow, that looks fantastic, bro. Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything, but I don't think it spoils anything.
Yeah. And and that's fantastic. I actually have like 2 projects right now that I'm trying to pull together that I want to get you involved in. And so I'm excited about that. No, I love Ibai's artwork. It's fantastic working with him. If you guys don't know, Ibai did a cover for Super Killers. Came out fantastic, and those are actually at the printer right now. I'll check back in with the printer. I think they're going to go into fulfillment hopefully this week is what I'm thinking. So I'm excited about that. And Ibai, you have one coming to you all the way over there in Spain. I got you on the list. Got the old Ibai cover coming that way. So I'm excited about that. So everybody in the chat, thanks for jumping on with us. I sure appreciate you guys. Always love when you come. Mike Hunt, whatever your real name is. Maybe Mike Hunt's a Rothschild. I don't know. Mike Hunt, thanks for supporting us today. Really appreciated those Ko-Fis. That was a lot of fun. I'm going to throw you another round of applause for that one. Shout out to Mike Hunt on that one. Appreciate you, buddy, big time. And tell me more about what's going on in Australia. I want to hear more about that. I fucking love Australia. I've always wanted to go surfing down there. I haven't made it down there yet. I want to go down to Australia. I also want to see the coastline with the 12 apostles, even though I hear it's going to be 11 apostles pretty soon because one of the pillars is going to fall down. But I want to go out in the outback and I want to paint out there. I got some artist friends who do plein air out there, so that sounds fantastic. But everybody go give Ibai a follow, Ibai Canales. I dropped his, let me see if I can't drop his other... where is it? Let me find his other X account. Let me just get that real quick. There it is right there. I wanna put this in the chat. Go give him a follow. If you don't follow him, here's his alt account, people. We wanna make sure that he doesn't get locked out or anything like that of Twitter jail. Okay, so there's his alt account right there. Go give him a
Twitter
follow.
has it in for me. Twitter definitely has it in for me. They have noticed me.
Yeah, they're mad at you, bro. They don't like you doing your thing down there. So go give him a follow. And everybody else, have a great fucking Tuesday. Nice surprise bonus episode with Ibai's travels through America and his take on what's going on with international quadriga out there. Shout out to you guys. Kick some ass. Have a great rest of your day and have a good one. Later, Gator.